join us on this beautiful Southern California afternoon. You know, it didn't start out like this yesterday. Today, not a cloud in sight, pristine conditions for championship racing. And that's what this event is all about. Championships.
The perfect setting for an event which some might call the Olympics of horse racing. Over the next 2 days, championships will be decided in virtually every division.
It doesn't get much better than this. We're at Breeders' Cup, great seats, ocean breeze.
Gunrunner goes on and collected on the far side. Legion dominates. Gunrunner collected. Psychology into the front furlong. And it is Nick's goal. Nick's goal after 2.5 mile lead. Within a period, halfway traveling with central quality. Nick's goal. Gunrunner destination line 4 collected. With Coach running off third, but Gunrunner the advantage. And Gunrunner has gone to 4 clear the final 6 lengths.
Live from Del Mar Racetrack in California. This is Breeders' Cup Live. Dan Tordjman, Rachel Miller, America's Best Racing. We are so pumped to be live from the epicenter of the horse racing world this weekend. 14 World Championship races, 5 of them today on Future Stars Friday. Rachel Miller, how you feeling?
Oh my gosh, that intro got me hyped. I'm sorry, but our video team can't be beat. I got in the feels, I got chills. I'm ready. I'm ready for the people on this show, Dan and others, to win me money. I see Alexa's in the background. We got Alexa Zepp coming on soon.
There we go.
And she's got a pretty good record of winning money. Dan, you know, I feel like you shine on the big weekends. So
well, that's kind of you. It's been a good run of big race days where we make some money. You're going to watch us here. We're going to go through the races. We're going to handicap. But this is meant for people at home who are watching the Breeders' Cup on TV, and you're like, you know what? I want some friends to hang with. So we're your friends the next couple of days. We've got drinks out. If you drink, grab one. Grab some food. Grab a sandwich. We're going to just have some fun. We're going to have a ton of guests coming through the set with the claws. Just to give you a feel for what's going on around Del Mar, this right here is the scene at Del Mar Racetrack on Future Stars Friday. You can see the crowds gathering around the paddock. The first Future Stars Friday race, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, that's coming up in about 25-30 minutes. It's a 5-furlong race. You see it's a mix of European horses and American horses, and that's just the vibes. Like, everyone's having a drink. They put sand out here in the infield. How sweet is that?
no, I saw that and I was like, imagine that. Just raw dogging some sand with your feet on a race day. What better way to post up? The people in there look like they're having the best time. There's a lot going on the grounds, and look at that. We already have our first guest on the show.
We do. And our first reference of raw dogging less than 5 minutes in, which is spectacular. So just to give you a feel for what you're going to get, co-founder of Equine Productions and Jockey Cam, Nathan Horrocks, our good friend. You are so freaking busy this weekend. Thank you for taking a minute to stop in.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's really exciting to be here at Del Mar, and we know what a great place to have the Breeders' Cup this year.
So Jockey Cam, people have seen Jockey Cam before. That's all the footage that you see during the race of the jockeys wearing the camera on their heads. You today are responsible for each race of the Breeders' Cup of putting that camera on select jockeys so that you can get the best perspective for the fans to take them inside the race. Tell me what goes into that.
Well, it's it's something that we've been trying to push for a lot of years now. You know, we've had onboard cameras in sports for a long time, and especially in motor racing and stuff like that. And what we wanted to do was bring the fans into the action and do the same with horse racing. And over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, we've been doing this on a regular basis with our fans at FanDuel TV and also with NBC. So what's great about it is it gives their fans the perspective of what these jockeys go through, making those split-second decisions. Weaving through horses and the thrill of the race, really. But there's a lot goes into it. Choosing the right horse, making sure we get the right view, and giving the fans the excitement of what race riding is really like.
It really is an incredible point of view and perspective. So I had heard about the Jockey Cam for a long time. I wanted to try it out. And about a month ago out at California Crown, I was lucky enough to strap one of these virtual reality headsets on, which is a really cool fan experience beyond, obviously, Jockey Cam, sharing these race replay videos in live time, basically. Almost instantly after a race, you can see how the trip went. But to give a fan an experience of seeing what that's like in the VR element was so cool. I was claustrophobic. Oh, I'm seeing that we're running some tapes on
There
me.
you go. There you are.
I did win.
Think she got into
it? But it really is like the next level and element to the sport, because I think that on big days like this especially, the fans are so far away from the horses at times, and it really can bring them into the action, what it's actually like for these athletes.
Well, it's like you just said there, Rachel, it's educating our fans and giving our fans the experience of what it's really like to ride a thoroughbred. We know we can all relate to other sports, football, golf, because we've probably tried these sports at an amateur level, but not everybody's ridden a thoroughbred riding at 45 miles an hour, making those split-second decisions, right. and that's what's lovely about, bringing this view to our fans, and we can get to see, hopefully we have another Pizza Bianca, moments, or a flight line even like we did at Keeneland. So it'd be great for our fans to actually physically see this, and they can watch it live on the Breeders' Cup app, which is great, and also NBC and FanDuel TV will be using these views as well.
And you've got some pretty serious international jockeys that are going to be wearing these later today. Can you tell us about some of those contenders?
Yeah, well, lucky enough, because I'm working in the changing rooms all around the world. In fact, I'm leaving here on Saturday night to rush down to Melbourne for the Melbourne Cup.
Oh my God!
So yeah, I'm constantly working with these guys and these girls, these athletes that we work with, and so it's great to speak to them and find out what they want, what they want from the race, and we're able to use them. We're going to be live with Tom Marquand in the next, and Christophe Lemaire. So fans go on the Breeders' Cup app and have a watch of the views from Tom Marquand and Christophe Lemaire.
So if you believe in the handicapping of Jockey Cam, let's just tell you, Tom Marquand is riding Big Mojo coming up in the Juvenile Turf Sprint, and Christophe Lemaire is riding the hype horse from Japan, Ekoro Sieg, right? So you told me, you're like, we try to, we want to get into a couple different plays. You got to kind of spread out your risk a little bit, right, when you're making these decisions.
That's right, and it's also giving the director that's directing the show the best view, so we can use these race replays for race analysis. It's not about what the camera achieves; it's about what it sees. So it's great that we have a winner like we did with Flightline, but it's also about seeing this action as well, being able to show what goes on out there.
Awesome. You are so busy, so we're just going to let you go. We really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. We hope to run into you at some point here again over the 2 days. Nathan Arx, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys, and everybody have a great show.
All right, let's go. Breeders' Cup.
Nathan.
Let's go. Jockey Cam right there. Nathan joining us for a few minutes. Thank you, Nathan. And let's look at the overhead shot here at the infield, the inside the rail scene at the Breeders' Cup. As we get ready, counting down the minutes to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, the first of 5 2-year-old races. And for those, what is the significance of 2-year-old races? People are watching like, what do you mean 2-year-old races? What are 2-year-olds? 2-year-olds, for horses, that's when they come into the sport. That's when they really ramp up their training and they start running their first races. And if they're good enough, when they become 3-year-olds, could be superstars. They could go to the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
They could go to the Kentucky Oaks, which is the female version of the Derby. They could go to a number of different races throughout the year, including some of the turf races. So turf, the grass races, and then you've got the dirt races. The big one today is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and the Juvenile in particular is the race that will establish the clear-cut leader for next year's Kentucky Derby.
No, this day truly is one of my favorites because you're looking at some of the future stars of tomorrow, hopefully. And these horses that are, if they're excelling at this point in their 2-year-old careers, that momentum is probably going to continue them on 6 months from now when things are heating up. That's when the Kentucky Derby is. And I think that it's a really fun point to start following some of these horses' careers. Obviously, more can come into the mix later because 2-year-olds are very variable. Some of them are really developed nicely and they're ready to go and run in these big races like the Breeders' Cup, and others are taking a bit more time to develop. But it's going to be some great, I think that my audio just cut out. But it's going to be some really great weekend day of racing.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of big action. Of course, we're here to handicap. We're here to make some money as well. So if you're watching at home, you're like, I want to make some money. Let's get to that business with our next guest, who's really a resident here. She will be handicapping with us throughout today and throughout tomorrow. This is Alexa Zepp from the Daily Racing Forum. Alexa, you've been sort of tabulating, picking up miles here throughout the day, running all over the place. How are you feeling?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. No, yeah, I've been all over the place, but all super, super fun stuff, helping Breeders' Cup out, being one of their official handicappers in the Trophy Lounge, helping people, make some money. And then, of course, joining my friends here at ABR. Always super fun.
I'm really curious. Yeah.
You knew it wasn't going to take long. By the way, the gentleman to your right in the blue suit, he is a jockey.
Okay.
He is not based in the U.S. His name is Sean Levy. He is riding tomorrow in one of the future races on Breeders' Cup Saturday, a horse named JRB. We're going to talk to him in a minute. So we'll bring
Is
him in.
that how it's... Okay, I have pronounced that
the
so many
toughest
different
name,
ways.
right?
I've
Yeah.
heard it pronounced so many... I was saying...
JRB?
JRB? No, okay. JRB.
JRB is the horse.
JRB.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Rock
so
on.
let's do this. Let's bring him in. Come on in now. Yeah, oh yeah.
Scoot over a little. Make
Super
some
casual.
room.
Yeah,
What a
we're
very intimate.
very, very intimate.
Welcome.
Grab that mic right there.
Here for you.
All right, so we were first and foremost, Sean, welcome to the show. We were first and foremost looking at the name. She says she's been struggling with reading the name JRB.
Yeah, it's like a 3-syllable word thing.
I was saying JREB.
No,
I'm saying it wrong.
bit closer.
Sean, you're originally from South Africa. Our audience, largely here in the U.S., may not be familiar with you, but you've ridden races all over the world, primarily based in Europe. You're here now at the Breeders' Cup. For those who are trying to get a sense for the significance of that, someone like you, what does it mean to be here at the Breeders' Cup?
Look, it's a huge deal for me. I was lucky enough, I'd done my apprenticeship in Ireland, and I came to the Breeders' Cup quite a lot with quite a few horses, and always wanted to ride here. I came over last year. I'd done a stint in Gulfstream, and a few years previous I did ride a horse in Santa Anita called Bissleton Brook, which I won a Guineas on. She was one of my first ever Group 1 winners, so it's a massive step to come here again, which is really hard year on, finding a horse that can compete here in the first place, and to come over here, be invited over here with a horse and to have a chance on a horse, it's a huge thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you have to right now. Like, you're here. It's Breeders' Cup Friday. You don't ride until Breeders' Cup Saturday. So what are you doing to fill the time? How much stress are you feeling? What's going on?
No stress, to be honest. Know the horse inside and out. I've ridden him every start bar one. We're happy with the format of the race. We're happy where we're drawn. Everything, all boxes are ticked at this stage. I think my thing is I've always been a bigger sort of jockey, and the weights over here are on the low side. So I do spend most of my time in the gym.
What am I? Come on, brother. You're hurting my feelings over here.
You've just got no chance in getting on a horse's back.
So that's one consideration. But yeah, you mentioned no stress. But what do you do to occupy your time and mentally to sort of stay focused? Because you know that tomorrow's ride is one of your biggest of the year.
Like I said, with me with the weights, I'm kind of in and out of the gym twice a day while I'm here. Got here on Tuesday. He's got 810, which is not the lightest you could probably have, but at the same time, it's a lot lighter than what we're used to. So I'll spend most of my days. I'm here in the morning, riding him a little bit on track, and then I'd go back to the hotel, do a bit in the gym, just got changed, come over to see you guys here. I'll probably watch a couple of juvenile races, and then I'll head back, watch the rest of it over there in the gym again. Same routine tomorrow before I come here. So yeah, I'm pretty occupied in that regard.
That's a lot of sweating. That's a good thing, though.
That's
it. And I mean, okay, so you've ridden all around the world. You've been in races, different countries, everywhere. Is there any, this being an international stage at the Breeders' Cup, is there any traditions or racing fan traditions internationally that you wish that some American fans could see?
I think they do it really well over here, to be honest. I've always loved it over here. It's extremely entertaining. It's very casual, very competitive, and the pots are definitely worth it. So if anything, I think a lot of other international places could maybe learn a little bit more from here.
Wow. Yeah. You say the casual atmosphere. Is it just in people's attire or the way that people act at the races?
I don't think it's genuinely just on attire alone, but like it's easy to see the casual kind of concept of it all, and people coming in and out freely and happy, even just to, if they're here for the first time or they're massive supporters of the sport. But it's very noticeable that.
I love that.
From a handicapping perspective, I think this race looks really, really tough, but I do like JRB in here. 3-year-old, right, going against older, which is actually a trend that has been winning this race the last couple of years. How do you feel about going against older horses?
I think he's fine. I think on this occasion, you could say the older horses have kind of plateaued, and he's on an upward kind of trajectory.
Fighting words there. Fighting words, huh?
You know, he's
Look out.
He says it so kindly. You're just like, okay, yes, they have plateaued. Yeah, they suck.
Look, I think it's fair to say, right? It's fair to say. Experience-wise, he might lack slightly in that regard, but he is well-travelled. He's been to France on a couple of occasions, ran against some very smart horses. So competitively, he's met the stage. What can you say? He, like, realistically, he's only a few months away from being a 4-year-old himself. So, you know, he ain't that young a horse.
Yeah.
We do have, just real brief, we do have a viewer question, someone watching. They said, for you, what do you prefer to race on, dirt or grass? Is there a preference?
Personally, turf, just only because we tend to have the better sort of selection as regard turf horses. Dirt horses is a complete different style of racing, different style of horse, everything really. But to be honest with you, if you give me a good dirt horse, I'll take that as well.
Go ahead, Alexa, I'm sorry.
No, so do you think are you going to try to keep him close to the pace, or do you have a game plan, or just respond to what happens?
I think looking at it, you know, from the lower draws up to me and a couple on my outside, it's mostly European dominated, and that helps us because it doesn't kind of give it that American aspect of fast and hard for the first, you know, half of the race. So that kind of leaves it to, I don't really have to change a whole pile to his running style from what he does at home. He's very straightforward. He's not one-dimensional by any means. I have made the running on him before, but he stuck the pace before as well. So, like I said, it's America. It's a tight place. You need to get your position early, and that I would like that to be a prominent one.
Very nice.
We do have 12 minutes to the first Breeders' Cup race, the Juvenile Turf Sprint. For those watching at home, we are your companion show here, so we will be reacting, we will be betting, we will be handicapping. If you do want to watch the races live, you can find them on USA and Peacock. We are again here with Sean Levy, who is going to be riding JRB tomorrow. And Sean, we should have probably started with this, but before we let you go, because we know you got other things to get back to, do want to know a little bit more about you personally. We mentioned you're originally from South Africa, but tell us kind of how you got into the sport and kind of your journey into where you are today.
It was maybe not hugely unusual, but I was born in Swaziland, which is right next to South Africa, so
excuse me,
fairly close
Sorry.
by.
Yeah.
But my dad was he was born in Ireland, but he was raised in England, and he was a jump jockey for a number of years. He travelled the world as well before he landed in Swaziland, where I was born. He himself ran a bookies and was massively into horse racing, I suppose, and show jumping and whatever have you. And that's kind of where I started. We then moved back to Ireland, where I signed on, and quite a few more years later, I've wound up in England, where I've been riding professionally now for the last 19 years, I suppose.
Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Should we let the man go back to his day?
Back to the gym.
Go back to the gym.
Back
to the gym, yeah.
Can we offer you some popcorn in the meantime?
I'm good.
No.
Don't tempt the man.
Calorie or two. These are
Right, you know what I mean? It'll take me forever to chew that.
All right, Sean Levy, thank you for taking a few minutes. We really, really do appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries. Appreciate it, and enjoy your day.
And best of luck with
Good
JRB.
luck.
Absolutely. That's Sean Levy. Will be riding JRB tomorrow, as we mentioned. We've got 10 minutes, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. As I mentioned, Sean will be riding in the Breeders' Cup Turf tomorrow, riding JRB. Alexa, since we are coming up on 10 minutes, would you would you set the stage for us for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint? I've got a couple of horses in mind. Who do you have in mind?
Yeah, so this is an interesting race. It's a tough race. It's the only 7th edition of it. A lot of these races started in 1984, I think, was the first Breeders' Cup, but throughout the years they've added some more, and this is one of the newer ones. And Wesley Ward's kind of the best trainer here. Has won 3 out of the last 6 out of the 6 years, but doesn't have any this year.
He's not here.
So a little more open. But I like some Euros in here, actually. My favorite is Whistle Jacket, the number 7. And I'm pleased that I'm getting the 4-1 odds right now. I thought it might take a little bit more money than that. The morning line was 5-1. And I think probably the strongest European contender in here. First time in North America, but Aidan O'Brien is great with that. He brings them over here really ready and wins 25% of the time with horses over here. I mean, you cannot ignore him at all. And another one that I like is the 2, Asterius. This horse has had, back-to-back group wins at this distance, so that's really important for me to see the success at this distance. He started 6 times, won 4 of them, got second in another one. For me, that horse has tactical speed, and so I think that's really important in any race, but especially in these Breeders' Cup races where the fields are so competitive and you have full fields, like really big, full competitive field. So, if you have a 1-run horse, it might be tougher if you don't get your way. But I do think Asterius can handle that and just been really steadily improving every single out. Time form ratings, because obviously we don't have buyers to go off of with these foreign horses, but time form ratings have been improving every single race and improving a lot. It went from 85 to 94 to a 99. And the thing that actually struck me the most about Asterius is when I watched the replay, I haven't had a chance really to look today compared to this field, but in that race, he was like so much bigger and more built than a lot of the other competitors. And I looked it up. He's a January foal, so in horse racing, all the horses turn 1 on January 1st, and then you're in the 2-year-old year. And so if you were born in January versus April or May, like, you have a bunch of months of development on these horses, and that can make a big difference in these, especially these younger races. So I just think he's powerful in here. I'm really liking the 7-1 odds because the morning line was nice. 4.5 to 1, so we're getting better odds than I expected. So those are my top 2 in here: Whistle Jacket and Asterius.
So Asterius is the 2 horse currently at 7-1. Holly Doyle will be riding Asterius. Now, for those who don't know, Holly Doyle is married to another jockey named Tom Marquand, who is riding number 3, Big Mojo, at 11-1. Yeah. They actually faced off against each other. The race that you mentioned, last time you saw this horse, looked big, looked great. Take a look at the stretch finish here between Asterius and Mojo. And there's another one of these competitors, Magnum Force, who's also in this race, the 4-horse, who ends up coming back into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. But take a look at what happened last time.
Childers. Tropical Storm down the centre with a narrow advantage from Mr. Lightside. Asterius on the near side is driven hard, going pretty nicely in the sheepskin noseband. There is Big Mojo. Magnum Force is coming there strongly. So too Zare on the far side. And here comes Tropical Storm on the far side. Asterius rallying on the near side in a wide open Flying Childers. They come inside the final half furlong. And it's Big Mojo on the far side from Asterius on the near side. Asterius beginning to get up. Asterius won the Flying Childers. Big Mojo and Magnum Force.
So Asterius and Holly Doyle getting the best of Big Mojo and Tom Marquand last time. I actually like Big Mojo a little better over firm ground 3 races back, won a Group 3 race. And so I think getting back to firmer ground, I think Big Mojo. So we're not too far off.
Big Mojo is in my superfecta. I really do like
Big Mojo. You're playing superfectas out here?
Just my top 4. Okay, in my top 4. Yeah.
Please.
Got our top 4.
John Green, are you playing superfectas?
I don't even know what that means. You lost me at do you want some popcorn? Anything you said after that, I was like, yeah, food.
John's done.
The answer
is it popcorn or kettle corn?
It's kettle corn. It's kettle corn.
Right.
Better. All right. That was
Again, we've got another new guest on the set. We got John Green with us, General Manager of DJ Stables. And I ran into you not but an hour ago, and you said that you were going to save...
You said, don't do the show. Whatever you do, don't do the show.
Don't show up.
Right.
Do not.
And believe me, the course that I took out here, It's a good thing I'm a marathoner and not a sprinter because it was a little rough going. I had to like battle Hercules and dragons and stuff.
What's that, Odysseus?
Yeah, Odysseus, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That journey.
And there was one security guard who was like, I said, "How do I get to the tunnel?" And he's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "No, I really want to go to the tunnel." He's like, "No, the paddock's that way, sir. Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I got to do the show." And they were like, "All right." So they
Oh God,
put me in the right
crazy.
direction.
we got to
Yeah.
talk to them.
Anyway,
We
but
gotta
I'm glad
talk
to be
with
here.
them.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
having
how
me.
could you not come when there's the promise of Dan's kettle corn?
Dan's kettle corn is just an added bonus. Being with you guys is the important thing. Anything that Dan adds is extra credit as far as I'm concerned. But it seems like the show's going well. You guys are happy, doing well. You getting through?
Well, we haven't picked a loser yet.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We're
all
undefeated.
right, and all my 3 entries are tied for first, tied for the lead right now. So we're so far so good.
So, speaking of John's 3 entries, I mean, the man is literally an hour and 25 minutes away from running 2 horses in the Juvenile Fillies turf. Right. He's got Nitrogen, and then he has Vixen in partnership with Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners. And then you got another one, just Dream On, in the Juvenile Turf.
Right.
All right. Let's just briefly start with the Juvenile Fillies turf.
Sure.
Nitrogen and Vixen. Thoughts, feelings, concerns?
Well, this was really like 2 years in the making. And Nitrogen came about because she's a homebred of ours. And when we had all the foals on the ground, we actually had Mark Cassie, our trainer, go out to the farm. And we said, okay, since Wonder Wheel was named champion, you can pick one horse that we don't put through the sales. And he looked at all of them. I didn't give him any of the pedigrees. I didn't want to lead the witness. And he said, that second filly that I saw, everything else pales in comparison. She breathes different air. And I was like, wow. He didn't even say that about his wife. So, I mean, the fact that he really likes Nitrogen that much. So I looked on the periodic table for, elements that are, lighter than oxygen.
Oh.
And, of course, Alexa, as you know, lighter than oxygen is... Nitrogen, very good.
Wow.
That was on prompting. So she had a name Nitrogen before I think we even registered her with the Jockey Club actually.
Wow.
So she was also eligible. We ran her first time out against the boys because we couldn't get a girl race to go at Woodbine. She ran a good close second. Then 2 weeks later, she was knocking down the barn, and we said, okay, we'll go ahead and put her in the Grade 1 as a maiden. And I think she got out there, and she was in front, and she was like, what the hell is this? Wait, where is everybody? And was a little green, no pun intended, and finished a hard third. And we sat and had to sweat out, waiting to see if she would actually get into the main draw, which she did. We pulled the two hole, and hopefully the rest is history.
In her first race, she was slightly off the pace, and then again, like you said, she found herself on the lead.
Right.
Where should those watching expect to find her? Or do you have no clue where she'll be?
Yeah, well, as much as I would love to, it's that old saying like man plans and God laughs.
Yeah.
So we would love to see her keep the rail position and be up front. I don't know. I know Lake Victoria, in watching her races, she has good early foot speed, but I think it's Euro speed.
Right.
So I'm not really sure that she's going to be able to inherit the lead if we go. Euro speed is kind of like being the tallest person in my family. It's irrelevant to the rest of the world. But that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that Nitrogen will break out on top. And then the other filly, we always call her the other filly, which is really, like I'm the other kid, in my family. Vixen, is a filly that has gotten better every race.
Yeah.
We were looking for the opportunity to work with a friend of ours, Aaron Wellman. This filly kind of came onto both of our radar, and we offered him a piece, and it's going to run in the Eclipse colors in this race.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to her being a good solid shot in here as well. I think the 13 post is going to hurt her a little bit. She's got to really work hard, but she's already run a mile a couple of times. And I think that's really an advantage, is when you have a young horse that's already gone that distance before. You're not trying to step it up to a Grade 1, to the Breeders' Cup, to the crowds, all the hoopla, and then on top of that have them go further than they've ever gone before. So I think that's just a pet peeve of mine, that if you see a horse, especially in these juvenile races, that have actually gone the distance or further, it means that they're tight enough to be able to handle this distance now.
Okay. Before we move on to the Juvenile Turf and Dream On, we are a minute to post from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, which is the first Breeders' Cup race here on Future Stars Friday, the first of 14 races we'll watch over the next couple of days. John, if you'll stay with us through this race, and then we'll let you go shortly thereafter, just want to get final thoughts here on who we like. Rachel, who are you going with here?
I am going to go with number 3.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
I'm backing it because of the name, Big Mojo.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Alexa, you made the case for Asterius. I'm also on Big Mojo, just to point out for those who don't have the live odds in front of them, Ekoro Sieg from Japan with Christophe Lemaire, top international rider. 8-5 right now, your favorite. Your second choice is, it's pretty spread out. It's the 7. It's Whistle Jacket. Who's your second choice?
Pick.
Oh, it's your top
Do
pick.
I have audio?
Yeah. Do you not hear us?
I just lost it myself.
Oh,
But that's okay. Yeah, my top pick is Whistle Jacket and then Asterius for rounding out the exacta there.
Yep.
But I mean, honestly, this race.
Now you're looking at Big Mojo, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I like Big Mojo. And the other one I wanted to mention before it goes off is the 12, Ides of March. I like that horse, especially at the 12-1 odds. This one, was tough for me to decide.
Yeah.
Who to put in that third position between Big Mojo and Ides of March. I was kind of vacillating back and forth, but I did end up going with Ides of March for that.
Yeah, find some prices. They're not going to come favorite in these races. The Juvenile Turf Sprint, it's sort of a crapshoot. Whoever breaks well, whoever gets the best trip, that's who's going to be there. If you want a big price for me, the 13 Pally Kitten drew into this race. Sneaky horse. There was a scratch, the one horse out of the race, so Pally Kitten drew in. Back-to-back race winner, stakes race, last out at this distance. Posted a 79 Beyer speed figure, the highest number for any of the American horses in this race. John, have you taken a peek at this race at all? Or if not,
I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm focusing on my two. But I know when I did look at this for our podcast, I thought that this race and the juvenile race were the most wide open.
Tough.
You can really throw a dart and hit a winner in this race.
All right. So we're going to watch this race live. We're going to do the best we can to kind of convey what we're seeing.
Yeah.
If you're looking to watch it live on your second screen or on your primary screen, I guess, you can find it on USA Network on TV. And if you're streaming on Peacock, you can find it on Peacock as well. So this is great. This is super exciting. First of 14 races. John, we are so happy to have you here. Let's go.
We're going to start throwing popcorn if these first selections of ours hit.
Let's go.
I don't know. Since there's no way for us to share the feed with you all, I mean, we could try and attempt a race call of sorts.
We can.
I'd love to hear
You
this
want to try it in
play-by-play.
this race, in the Juvenile Turf Sprint?
Right. That's jumping into the deep end.
Oh, gee. Yeah, no.
Well, go ahead. And these are all out of order here if you want to try them this way.
gosh.
Oh, you got them in front of you. Okay. Governor Sam, by the way, we didn't mention the 10. Governor
Here.
Sam,
me
owned
this
by
program.
Alex Bregman, who is soon to be what? A New York Met? What do we think? Where's Alex Bregman going? All right. So the horses are just... Oh, yeah, there we go. Greg Charcuti in here chiming in with Red
Turn the
Sox.
gate.
Yeah, no.
You got Devers. You don't need Bregman.
Here we go. Breeders' Cup 2024.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, Rachel, you doing this? You doing a little play-by-play?
And they're off in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Sprint. And out to the early lead, we have...
Governor Sam.
Governor Sam.
Governor Sam out to the early lead. Asterius on the
Alexa's taking over.
inside. Behind that, we have number 9, Kilwin in fourth. Sitting in third place is Correto, followed by Virgin Colada. Ooh, Virgin Colada making an... Nope, Kilwin making an early... Nope, Virgin Colada making an early move up to the lead.
We've still got... Governor
Virgin
Sam
Colada
is
is not
still
even in
hanging
this.
on to the
and
lead.
Killen's in our race.
Yeah, I think we're
close.
Wrong race.
Close. That's okay.
I'm trying.
That's okay.
All right, on the lead, turning for home is the 6 at 90-1. Jet Swept Joe on the outside. Big Mojo.
Oh my God, my
But
friend
Governor
owns Jet
Sam
Sweet
is
Joe.
still moving
Come on, Jet Sweet
before
Joe.
Magnum
Come on, Jet
Force.
Sweet Joe.
Magnum Force. Come on, this three. Come on, these Magnum Force. Wow, big win. Magnum
Hey.
Force. Arizona Blaze in second. That is 12-1 over 37-1.
Dan,
Welcome to the Dan Breeders' Cup.
Where did Kilman finish? I didn't see that.
My God.
I want to say, if I was looking at the right
Hopefully
race,
she ran in that
Ran in that
race.
race. I
if
know
I
it.
was looking at the right race, the call would have been nice.
Right.
You know what? Okay. I think that we did pretty good, aside from Alexa reading from the wrong.
From the wrong race. That's right. You have 13 more to go. You got 13 more to.
Try it
This was just a
again.
dry run.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, can you reset that race, please, so we can make sure we get the right
Try it
field?
again.
Let's run it back. All right, so now they're showing us the replay. Magnum Force. So Magnum Force was the third horse that came out of that race replay that
Yeah,
we
you're
watched.
right.
So we were looking at the right key race. I didn't see what happened to Asterius. Maybe got in a little too tight
You
on
see
the
him
rail.
here, he's like sitting,
Just didn't fire,
just
maybe.
like third or fourth off at the top of the stretch. then makes a move, has a
Got a
clear
little tight
path,
there.
a little bit of bumping.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's still coming. He really is closing quite a bit. Or she. No, he.
He.
Yeah, he.
Oh man, it's been a long week. No, I mean, had a pretty decent performance.
Yeah. No, good race from all those. I mean, basically they ran first, fourth, and fifth, right? Yeah, they ran first, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, because Whistle Jacket ended up closing there and beating Asterius at the end for maybe fourth place.
Yeah. Magnum Force is your winner at
12-1 odds.
12-1. Colin Keenup, and then you got in second Arizona Blaze. Umberto Rispoli at 25-1. So here's what I did here. I'm just gonna tell you. I actually hit this race, but for very small.
Hang on,
Dan.
Wait a minute.
I am not okay with that because you didn't talk about any of these horses before the race.
I talked briefly about Magnum Force.
No,
and
you didn't.
Briefly.
No, you were showing us the other two.
No, exactly. But I did again. I had to use Magnum Force if I was using the other two. So I did a $1 exacta key box with the 4. And I played the 4 with all first and second, and lucked out. Now look, it's $1 exacta. It's going to pay maybe what, $400?
Wait, prove it. Let's see the ticket.
OMG.
Let's see the ticket.
I
want proof.
I want receipts.
Oh, this is my
receipts.
favorite part of a live show
I did
is
bet
seeing
like
Dan's
$200
Express Bet
into
account
the race.
on the screen next to me.
Here it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's not a
I
liar.
have to trust you because I can't see that far.
So you went with Big
does that look good?
Mojo and Magnum Force.
I did I spent about $150 on Big Mojo, and then I left my I threw a couple of small bets on Magnum Force.
Very nice.
I should have been more transparent.
Very
shouldn't
nice.
I?
That's right.
Which,
That's
to be
right.
fair, yeah, Big Mojo ran a strong race. It's just really tough
Mojo
in
ended
these
up,
turf sprints
oh
if
man,
you don't
there's still
have
a
that.
photo for third
Oh, look,
place. It's really close.
Look at
between-
this comment here. 4 was Dan's third choice. He knows.
Oh, yeah, your dad coming up to bat for you.
Your dad. Do I have to send bail money?
Hang on.
Yeah.
John, any of your family members going to come in here and defend you in the comments?
Hell
too?
no. They could care less what I say.
They're going to be
they
like,
know
you're an
better.
anomaly. You're actually
Right.
the shortest one of the family. We're all
exactly,
really
yeah,
tall. I don't know what was up with that insult
nice.
earlier. Oh, gosh. Okay.
But wait, we need to just mention Jet Sweep Joe for a second. I was really, when I heard you mention, my friend owns that horse and named after her late husband, and I honestly did not think had any shot, but
Was there at 90
still
to 1.
rooting. And
Was there at
they're
90 to
90 to
1?
1. So congrats to Alyssa and their family for being involved. I mean, just getting a horse in the Breeders' Cup is such an incredible feat. So
No doubt.
I mean, seeing the way that race turned out, first Breeders' Cup race of the 14 in the books, are you feeling a little bit more jazzed for your?
I see what you did there. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. The jazz with the music theme for Dream On. Now, did you know that that's really where we got the name from?
Really?
For Dream On?
No.
No, seriously. Did you
I
know
don't
that?
think she planned that at all.
Oh, all right.
Sometimes it's just serendipitous.
So Aerosmith is my favorite band. And Dream On was like their first major hit.
Sure.
And I couldn't believe the name was available. So that's why we named this Not This Time called Dream On.
That's
So I
awesome.
thought you were
no,
like, oh,
Aerosmith,
jazzing.
you know, your classic first hit wonder.
First hit wonder.
First
Exactly
hit,
right.
Jesus.
That's exactly right.
All right, he's going to leave this.
I'm a little older than you.
He's gonna leave the set in a minute anyway.
Will you name a
with
horse
that comment,
Steven
since you
Tyler,
brought-
though?
Oh, there's some nitrogen.
Oh,
I'm lighter than air.
And since I know that's really you, I know you're the vixen.
I'm the vixen.
Not me.
And Dan, I have a Yankees hat for you.
Oh, don't.
I have a Dream On hat for
Oh,
you.
I want this one. I am an Aerosmith fan.
No, I remember us talking about that before.
So I love
And
this.
I could sing it if you want.
Absolutely.
do it like that.
So anyway, I expect those hats to be there for at least the rest of the remainder of the day.
They will.
Okay?
They will.
Since
I will show you.
we're in the 8th
Yeah,
and the 10th.
we're decorating the set.
There you go.
And
There
if
you
one
go.
of these horses win, one of these
Well,
will
then
be
it's
on
a
eBay
collector's
later
item.
tonight.
Then it's a collector's item. If you want, I'll autograph it for you.
Dan needs a way to fuel his Express Bet account, okay?
Yeah. All right. So real quick, Dream On. Your feelings at this particular moment comes out of what is generally a key race, an important race. How are you feeling about
Yeah,
him?
I think honestly, when you get, and you just mentioned it before, anytime you have an opportunity to get a horse in a Breeders' Cup race, that's a mitzvah in itself. All right? That's a bonus.
Yeah.
So however they do out here is great, and we just feel like that of the three that we're running today, that Dream On has been training the most aggressively, to the point where Cassie called me 2 days ago, Mark Cassie, and said, I really wish the race was today because this horse is just on top of his game. And I know every trainer says that. They all say their horses are training, well. But Cassie is pretty tight-lipped about things.
Okay.
He doesn't try to project or predict, but he really feels like this horse is training well. And I was actually surprised to see the horse come out at 20-1 when the other two horses from the exact same key race that we only lost to by a little bit were 5-2 and 4-1.
Yeah.
And I think
look what just happened there. A horse who finished third against two common runners here who came back in this race who were both getting more money, came back and beat both of them.
And beat both of them. So maybe it's a good omen. It's a good omen. But I really think that Dreamer is of the three that we have, and I think we have decent shots in both races. But I think Dream On has the most bona fide opportunity to win because he really, on his form, he's right there. On his numbers, he's right there. The buyer numbers, the sheet numbers. However you measure a horse's ability, he's right there with the top 2 or 3 in this race. It's going to take some luck. Anytime you have a big 14-horse field like this, you need a little bit of racing luck. But I think the shorter stretch here in comparison to where he ran at Woodbine is only going to benefit him. Yep. And if you watch the replay of that race, he also was in front and was kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? And he was getting tired. He was changing leads right and left. He kind of bumped the horse that passed him at the end. This time he's really much tighter, and I think he's ready to go.
That's awesome.
And did I catch a nickname there? Dreamer?
Dreamer,
Okay,
exactly.
that's official. Dan, you're going to have to put in a bet for me on this horse.
We're betting.
We're betting. Are we going to Disney?
Anyone at the Apple Store knows, when I go in to get a new phone, my original email address, Pony Dreamer.
Oh, nice. And your password was?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just us listening. It's just us listening.
All the ABR accounts are linked to that.
Right, exactly. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. But you guys got a great set. I'm looking forward to watching the show tomorrow when all the pressure's off of us.
You're going back.
I'm going back to New Jersey tomorrow. So I'll be watching the races hopefully on Wi-Fi on the plane, and that way I can text you and you'll get it like an hour later. So you'll be like, that was almost funny 45 minutes ago.
We'll be like, how's John picking the winner of every race?
Every race, exactly. And it's bona fide. It's not like Dan's dad.
Timestamp.
John Green, DJ Stables, best of luck. Get over there. You got to be in the paddock soon.
Over there. I know.
Right. And you got to fight the security guard. I wonder if it's hard on the way back or it's a little easier.
I think so. I think everyone's
they'll be like, come.
Oh, yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. But no, thank you guys. You guys do a wonderful job. I couldn't be happier than to be on the show with you. And
thanks for the swag.
Swag is good. Other than calling the wrong race, I think you're doing a phenomenal job.
So much.
Okay.
I think you got a big future in this.
You got a big future in this business, kid. Exactly. All right,
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And appreciate John Great stopping by. He has several runners coming up here in the next few races. Tamar, come on in. Our next guest is standing by. Jamie, you will be 5 minutes out. 5 minutes out, we'll bring Jamie in. You don't want to miss Jamie. If you thought that was entertaining with John, you don't want to miss Jamie. And our old friend Tamar, you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Oh, there you go. All right, Tamar, grab the mic. Hold it close. Tamar, it's been a year, a long year, but you're back. Tamar, the racing manager of Ryoto Kuji Kenji Holdings.
Yes.
Was that close? Yeah. Okay.
That was close enough.
That's the ownership team behind Ushba Tesoro, who's back at the Breeders' Cup in the Breeders' Cup Classic tomorrow for the second straight year. Last year, we jinxed you guys. We mushed you with the cameras all over you. This year, different story, right? How you feeling?
Yes, we're actually feeling really good. Ushba's feeling amazing.
Nice.
As you've seen, he's super fresh. You really can't tell. He's 7 years old now, but
wow.
Yeah, we're very happy with how he's been doing.
No, he's such a cool horse, and to be coming back a year later, vying for the same race, how do they feel about being in this environment at Del Mar and just how much he's progressed in the past year?
Actually, we were considering not coming back last year because I think the track wasn't really a good fit for him. He gets a little opinionated when he's training, and the entrance into the track was right by the stables, and he really was not happy about it last year. And he's the type of horse that needs to be happy all the time. Like, we want him really happy, confident, and actually the jockey wanted to come back and convince the owner to come back here, and that he said that we actually have a really good chance at this, so we really want to try it again. And the owner said yes, so here we are.
That's Yuga Kawada, right?
Yes.
All right. And he, of course, said just keep those AVR cameras away from me.
Yeah.
Get it done this year, I promise. Now Ushba has had a great year again. Wins a Group 1 in Japan to close out last year, then comes back, misses by a head in the Saudi Cup, second again in the Dubai World Cup, and then second again last out. But it's always right there. Always right there.
Always right there. Saudi Cup, oh gosh, that was really close. It was, we were just standing there like in disbelief.
Yeah.
But to know that he's now 7 years old and he can still do his job really well, and he's very focused, he's fit, he feels good. Like, we're not really worried about him. So, of course, the U.S. has much faster races, so we're hoping whatever happens in front of him, he can still come back from behind and get to the top, but we see how it goes.
Yeah. I was going to show the video. I'll show it later because I told you I wouldn't do it while you were here. we have the video that we shot last year, and what really happened at the start, and Alexa, I'll throw this to you in terms of how you're seeing the race and how maybe Ushba plays in, but like for a horse like that, who right after the gates opened, found himself shuffled back and taking dirt, and your crew that we were with were just like, oh boy, how are we going to recover from this? This is not where he wants to be. Alexa, I don't know if you've been looking at Ushba in particular and the classic field, but how do you think he stacks up? And again, is it just a matter of trip? Because that 5th place finish was really uncharacteristic for him. It just doesn't fit. Everything else is first or second.
Well, I have not included him in my top selections for the race.
That's all right.
So I hate to say that.
No, but that's fine.
Oh, Alexa, we're not getting any more of these hats. Damn it.
I'm not getting an Ushba
No Ushba hat.
No, I mean, obviously a really, really talented horse. And if you're saying last year part of it was, the surroundings and just not being on, super happy on top of his game, then, maybe we'll see something totally different this year.
Yeah, if I can add, last year it was our first time in the U.S. and we had a plan that he probably needed to go more forward than he usually does. He usually just likes to hang back and get his engine going later on, but we said, okay, we need to move him forward, and I think that's not his race. That's not how he races, and we want him. This year we're just letting him do what he does best, and honestly I think the 5th place was just our planning that was just not the best fit for him, and this year we're just letting him do his thing, and I'm hoping that's really gonna play off.
No, it has a huge impact. The happiness of a horse doing their job. We say it all the time. No horse is going to do what they are told to do. Does your dog sit and stay just because you tell them? Maybe if they're really well trained. But horses really do have a whole big personality of their own, especially Ushba, which we love to see, a big personality like that. Because when the day is right, and if he's feeling on today, he's going to deliver his best performance.
Yep. Absolutely.
And the race will have quite a fast pace, I think. So, I mean, that does set up nicely for a horse who, might want to hang back and come back.
There you go. That's
Alexa's fighting hard to get a hat.
He's coming around. No, and if you watch him race, I feel like if this race was 3 miles, all these horses would be sort of pulling up tired and Ushba would still be running. you could tell that the dude just has heart. He's not stopping. He's coming.
He's not stopping. He also doesn't care for any of the dirt on his face. He does not care. After he won in Dubai, he was almost half blind out of his right eye.
It's kind of just covered.
It was actually scarred a little bit.
Oh, really?
But they got treated right away, and it was fine. But he doesn't care. He can go through anything.
You could tell he's like Rocky. He's really like Rocky Balboa. The dude will take punches. He'll get knocked down. He'll come back. I mean, I love the horse. And I'll just go on record as saying it right now. It's Friday. It's Friday at 3:00 Pacific. I'm sorry, Tamar. Ushba Tesoro is winning the Classic. That's my pick.
Is it your pick?
It is. That's my pick.
Is your top pick?
That's my pick.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, I just said it now in front of you, but even if you weren't here, and I will say this multiple times between now and tomorrow, I just think when you look at the whole body of his work, that Classic last year was such an outlier. Everything else is there. You've got a lot of question marks with a lot of these horses. These 3-year-olds, it's a tough ask for them facing older horses for the first time. The horse has experience. You're not going to come all the way back here just to get him embarrassed. This horse is ready to run a big race, and he will.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're hoping for, and he feels good. I think he looks better than last year, so Fingers crossed.
With that said, we'll see you in the paddock with all the cameras right before the race. We won't do that because I want to win money, so we won't do it. No, I'm kidding. All right, Tamar Weisberg, thank you so much for joining us, and wish you enjoy the rest of your weekend here.
Thank you.
All right, awesome.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you, Tamar. All right, let's go to the overhead. We got the overhead shot. We don't have we're on me. All right, well, here we are. Hey, guys. We've got 20 minutes until the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, the second of 5 races today on Future Stars Friday. Jamie, come on in. Roberto, you're up next. You're up next. Couple minutes. Yeah, he's like, I'm good. You looking good, brother. You looking good. Oh, yeah, what flavor you want?
Whatever you put your hand in there.
Is raspberry work?
Perfect.
You like raspberry? Yeah, all right.
Thanks.
All right.
There you go. Yeah.
Hello. Welcome.
We do nothing if not entertain over here at America's Best Racing. That's why you all
Jamie.
should be.
Wait, come on. What are you doing? You see how close we are? Get closer.
Yeah, you got to get
What are you
in
doing?
there. Get in there on the set.
Get cozy.
No, it's like literally, we're like
I feel
literally
like
a family here.
instead of chairs, it should have been a couch back here. You know what I'm
Sink
saying?
in. Couch and a table.
I think that would have been a good
All right.
vibe.
We're betting the get off in Phillies 9 to 5.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me just introduce. Can I introduce you first before you start handicapping?
But
This
I
is the
thought you all
president of
have
the
odds up
Grayson
here.
Jockey Club.
We're here.
For God's sake. Yeah, the races are right in front of you. All right, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
We know we're gonna jump into handicapping. Briefly, for our audience, we got a lot of new people watching. 19 minutes of Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Yes, Immersive is the favorite at 9 to 5. We are going to give our picks here shortly, and then of course once the race ends, I will then tell people who I really bet. But I'm kidding.
Pretty good strategy.
It didn't really work. It just kind of it was a bad look, but it wasn't like that. Jamie, tell us what the Grayson Jockey Club does.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. So the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation is the largest funder of equine research in North America. So every year we'll get grants submitted from all over the world. Right now we currently have 56, and they deal with anything for horse health. As you would imagine, vaccines, colic, laminitis, stem cell therapies, the genome, genetic disorders, anything that may affect the health of a horse, we've probably done a research project on. And since 1940, we've done $42 million worth of those projects, 437 different projects at about 48 universities. Right now, we've got 50 projects going at 20 universities on 3 continents. And it deals, Dan, with anything. As you know, virus, disease, and malady doesn't ask a horse what it is, it just attacks. Yeah. So the research we're doing helps all of the racehorses we have, but also helps all the breeding population, the quarter horses, the show horses, the backyard pony, because it's really just about the health of a horse. So anything you could think, from musculoskeletal, respiratory, to virus, vaccines, a lot of breeding projects we do, because obviously you got to have healthy horses before they get to the racetrack. So anything that would do the health of a horse, the PET scan research that everybody is so into now, and all the machines, we helped fund a good number of those projects. And you know, and if research is not going, you can't just automatically have it. So you always have to be working on it in the background. So just real quick, the PET scan. No, we first started doing that research in 2015. Nobody had ever really PET scanned a horse before. We kind of viewed it as high risk, high reward.
For those watching, just explain what it is.
So it's positron emission tomography, and it's cancer patients get it, and it does it to identify weak spot in bones.
Okay.
And so through it, in an MRI component, you can do like a little map, and it shows heat spots where the bones may be getting weak or bone bruising. And so they had never PET scanned a horse. 2015, anesthetized it. Took 45 minutes to do one limb, but then they got a privately funded piece of equipment, 4 limbs now in 45 minutes, lightly sedate the horse, and there's 13 of those machines in the world to use now. So our equine athletes are getting the most up-to-date technology that all the humans are getting. It's a lot of translational medicine. So osteoarthritis, as you can imagine, in people, horses, we have a lot of translational medicine pieces where a human doctor will be involved in our equine just to see how the bone's reacting or the arthritis is reacting to the treatment.
Yeah.
So
it's had a tremendous impact already. Like, I know that this research benefits all horses. However, in horse racing, this is a sport that we've seen get much safer with every year,
Well,
and the therapy
you know, that
is that you're talking
one of the
about.
services that Jockey Club also provides, not Grayson, and we work with them, is the Equine Injury Database. And so in 2009, we started collecting data, and since that moment and today, we've seen a 35% decrease in equine fatalities on racetracks. So there's a real culture of safety that goes along with the animal. As I like to tell people, this horse has taken me places that I shouldn't have been, so I can always take care of it. I mean, it's a great animal. It's helped us conquer worlds and be places we could never have. So now it provides us with different jobs, and horse racing just happens to be one of them, right?
Yeah, this is extremely important work, and for people watching, if you're watching, presumably you're watching because you're a fan of horse racing, and you probably had someone in your life say to you, well, you know, they don't care about the horses. If you just listen to what Jamie just went through for the past couple of minutes, that's all the ammo you need, really, to go back and tell those people this is what's being done. And that's just, it's just a sliver of what's being done.
Yeah, I mean, you know, something just for horse racing fans, every horse in America that starts has a pre-race inspection. No other, by an independent equine veterinarian, no other sport has an independent doctor or veterinarian scan over them and say it's okay to participate. So we're providing a level of care. They watch them train every day. They pull them out to do jog-ups on the concrete so we can see. And then if that doesn't do it, they'll order advanced diagnostic work, just like you would treating any kind of high-performance athlete.
Yep. The horses for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies are now in the paddock. There's 14 minutes to the race. Jamie jumped the gun, was super excited. You just wanted to get right into handicapping. 9-5 on Immersive, your favorite. Your second choice is number 9, American Bikini, one of the Japanese horses with a lot of hype this weekend. Alexa, I'm going to leave it to you to grill Jamie on the handicapping.
Where'd the Japanese horse finish in the sprint before?
I don't know. I don't think it was anything good because I didn't see him enter the frame at any point. I mean, to be honest, other than the break.
You don't think any of the Japanese contingent is gonna
play? Are you writing them all off?
No. I think they are. That's what surprised me.
Yeah.
That's a turf race, right?
My favorite play of the day is Shin Believe.
I heard you mention that the other day. Shin Believe,
yeah, Japanese horse.
Is that the
No, they
juvenile?
ran so well
The
here
ninth
last
race.
time that I
Yeah, well-
wanted to see
well,
what they're going to. And they've
the
been
last
conquering
time-
the world, quite frankly, as they've gone around done it.
And the last time that the Breeders' Cup was held here in 2021, I believe, was the first time that the Japanese team had secured a win in the Breeders' Cup. So this is a great place for them. I feel like they've been Derby dreaming and dreaming of winning some big titles like at the Breeders' Cup in recent years. So they've been securing more American bloodlines. It's really been a concentrated effort to get their program where it is. And to think that they had their first Breeders' Cup win in 2021, and just a couple years later, they have some of the most major contenders. You guys mentioned American
19
Bikini
this year, 19 here.
Yep.
So I think
again,
every
all
year-
different trainers and syndicates that own these horses. However,
Scottish Lassie, they're showing on the screen if you are watching, which is actually my top pick in the race. So you can see here the big win in the Grade 1 Frizette, where it just totally takes it away.
Well, they can't see that. We can see it.
Well, if they're watching at home. No?
Yeah,
you've got
they're
another
watching.
feed going. We're a
have
second
another
screen
feed.
experience.
Yeah,
If you
we
don't
know
have
that.
this on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TV.
Yeah,
Something on
but
the
okay,
side.
so in the Grade 1 Frizette, Scottish Lassie won by I don't even know, 20 lengths. I mean, that was super.
Well, it says 9.
It was more than 9.
It was 100 lengths.
It was
actually.
2,000 lengths.
No, that was impressive.
There's a pretty short run into this stretch to be outside at 10 on the 10.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that too. I mean, that would be my concern. And there's the Frizette has actually been a good race in terms of setting horses up for this particular race. 21 of the last 23 Juvenile Fillies winners had previously competed in a Grade 1 race. The Frizette Stakes has been one of the most productive, producing 7 of the last 15 winners. That's good. That's good data. I would think that the horses who are coming into this from New York and the Frizette doing well. Jamie, you want to take you said Immersive, is this like a single if you're playing pick fours? I mean, what do you think?
We've sat and watched Godolphin win every 2-year-old race for the last 2 months. From Churchill when they swept them to Keeneland when they swept them. taking 2-1 feels terrible.
It does. It feels awful.
I can't do that.
It feels. It feels like the wrong thing to do on a Breeders' Cup day.
So what are you going to do?
Especially with 2-year-olds. This is a much more unpredictable thing, you guys. Like, there's not a lot to go off of behind some of these horses. And as impressive as they look, this, for pretty much all of them, is going to be the biggest race that they've ever run in, biggest crowd, and toughest competition.
Well, who are you landing on? What's your pick?
Ooh, okay. As a little bit of a wild card, Snow White.
Okay.
Number 2.
Comes out of the Frisette.
Don't ask me why, but yeah,
well,
she was in the Frisette.
She lost by 200 lengths to.
Yeah, she was 200 lengths behind Alexa's
Scottish
horse.
Lassie.
That's never won before.
And I mean,
American Bikini.
American
you're feeling?
Bikini, if I'm going off of more names, which, you guys, it's not the most original when the sire is American Pharaoh and Dam's Paris Bikini, just combining 2 words, but still,
Love it.
American Bikini.
Still a good name.
Look, you know what is kind of disappointing, but maybe a sign that I should just jump on this. My sneaky pick in this race is the horse who's going to be alone in the lead for most of the race, and that's the one horse, Vodka with a Twist.
Yep.
Okay.
20 to 1 in the morning line.
I
8
can't
to 1
believe the
right
8
now.
to 1. It's not as good of a play at 8 to 1. I
I
don't
know.
think.
I was hoping for 12 to 1
Yeah,
more.
I agree.
I think they're betting it because of the name.
That could be it.
Can we get some of those over here?
I think we watched Tequila and Therapy win earlier.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
you were
card.
saying that. Yeah.
No, I was
Now
sat
we
up
have
in an
vodka with
area,
the-
and
every vodka with a twist. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all.
says the people drinking White Claws while working.
Sure.
I like a price in here as
Okay.
well. So Scottish Lassie is my top pick, but to round out my exacta, I like the 4, La Cara.
Ooh, okay.
Our Pocahontas winner. This horse has tactical speed, and I think the added distance based on the last 2 starts will just be able to handle all the pace pressure up front. So I really like the 10-4 duo in here. I think you can make some decent money.
Street sense out of a Bernardini mare, you know that mile and a 16th's not going to be a problem.
Right.
I just worried she's not going to be fast. And it'll be interesting to see how the dirt track's playing. These are going to be the first 2-turn race.
Sure. It seemed fair earlier. I mean, they went fast in a couple of races earlier, and they kind of came back.
Yeah, I mean,
they went really fast. So they went 21 and 3 in the
my
first race.
lasting memory is seeing Nick's Go still running.
Yeah.
From here. Yeah, I mean, so if it's like that, if it's the typical Southern California tracks, you got to be up front, right? That's why.
Yeah.
If the 10 can clear from the outside, I don't know. There's not a lot of pace in here either, right?
I'm curious to hear.
Just the one.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets to the rail and goes, and maybe goes on.
Okay, Alexa, I'm curious to hear. We're 8 minutes to post. How do you see this race playing out? Who is going to go to the lead first? How's the race going to shake out?
I don't totally understand what you're saying, Dan, with there's no pace in here, and Vodka's going to be on the front, because I don't think so.
What do you think? Nooney's going? American Bikini ain't going to be there.
Nooney and Immersive, I think, would be more towards the lead.
No.
No.
Nooney's going.
Nooney's
Nooney's
dude.
gonna
He has to go to win.
This horse is coming out of a race where they're running 21 and 2 and 21 and 4, 21 and 2, 21 and 2 on the lead 3 races back, going 6 furlongs. I mean, this horse is stretching out. I mean, Vodka with a Twist from the rail is going to be clear, right? I mean, you think Nooney's fast enough?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think
Nooney
Nooney
ran
has the
23
fastest.
and 2 last out. 23 and 2, 47. I know the race 2 back went a little faster. I mean, 21 2. Maybe.
So
maybe.
I go off of
This is just gibberish
time
for the
form.
people
I go off of early time form figures more than just raw numbers.
Yeah.
And based on time form, I mean, Nooney does have the fastest early speed in the race, and Vodka's like kind of mid-pack.
Ooh, mid-pack.
Mid-pack, yeah.
Well, if Vodka's mid-pack, I'm going to lose. I can confirm that. I will definitely lose.
I'm not trying to say that I was trying to start a fight with my last question, but I have been enjoying just sitting back, sipping my drink, whipping my head back and forth.
Do you think American Bikini's fast enough early to keep up with some? I mean, that's the thing that scares me
That's
about.
interesting question.
Horses. I think that I want them to see a little bit, get out a little bit faster.
Yeah.
In the early stages.
I mean, the horse
I don't know. It's hard to gauge sometimes, with the foreign horses, but has one being the pace setter, so
and she's also stretching out.
Yeah, stretching out. The longest she's ever gone before is 7 furlongs. So But every time they've added some distance so far, it handled it just fine, and it's by American Pharoah, so should be okay with the distance. But that is something that's hard for me to gauge sometimes with these foreign horses, comparing to how they're going to handle our, very fast early races.
Yeah, which for the people watching at home that maybe aren't familiar, American racing is different to other races internationally because we're known for very fast, right out the gate kind of races. We would call that a very quick turn of foot, meaning that they can break out the gate quickly and, start the race as soon as the gates open. In other countries, I feel like it's a lot more common for horses to kind of take their time. They settle into the race. Usually the races are a little bit longer and they just have more time to make up that ground. And again, they're going up against fields of horses that are also either European or Japanese that also run in a similar style. So that's what makes the Breeders' Cup, where international horses face U.S. horses, a bit more unpredictable, is if they can get that quick U.S. style turn of foot.
Yeah, and I will say for American Bikini, has led and set the pace in all the races. And if you do, the one thing we can kind of compare to with our figures to these form figures is not the time form U.S. rating, but the time form rating, which generally as a guide is about 20 points off of buyer figures. But the most impressive thing about American Bikini, first race rating was a 55, not stellar. Next 74, next 90. So, you see this with young horses where they just make leaps and bounds every single race as they get, more experienced and they're just becoming a great racehorse. So I think we haven't seen her ceiling yet by any means. There's nothing to indicate that this horse will not continue to improve when asked. So it's definitely interesting. I don't know. I guess we're getting 4-1 odds. I might want a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, American Bikini co-second choice, the 9 horse at 4-1. The other co-second choice is Scottish Lassie at 4-1. You then got at 8-1 the horse that I mentioned, Vodka with a Twist, and you've also got the 5 Quick Kick, who finished second last out to Immersive. Let's take a look back at what happened in that race.
They come toward the quarter pole. Rich City Girl is the leader. Liam at the dust drops back to the inside. Immersive goes to second. Quick Kick goes to third. Still 5 from the lead. Top of the short stretch as they turn for home. Continuity fourth. Here's Immersive. Immersive comes forward, has the lead. Quick Kick is taking aim from the outside, but she's second. But here she comes now in the short stretch. Quiet Side on the far outside. Immersive to the inside has the lead. Immersive chased all the way by Quick Kick. Immersive and Manny Franco to win.
So that was Immersive and Manny Franco kicking away there from Quick Kick, who is 7-1. So, beaten by a length and a quarter, not a ton. If you like Immersive, I guess you got to like Quick Kick a little bit, and you're getting 7-1, so much better price. Jamie, you're like, look, Immersive's going to win, but I don't want the horse at 9-5. So what are you going to do? What's your actual bet?
I just bet a try and singled put Immersive on the top, and let's see, we played the 5, the 6, and the other Bikini, almost all of them underneath. But I think Immersive is going to win. It's just a matter of who's going to run underneath of her. If she runs back to the race, she drew off pretty impressively.
Yeah. Are you getting emotional about this race?
It's a little early.
You're getting a little emotional?
It's a little early for the tears, isn't it?
We've only lost one race so far.
I'm glad that you guys think that this huge wad of toilet paper that was just passed to me is for tears and not something else.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? What else is happening?
I do not know what's going on.
I have watery eyes sometimes. And I was like, is there a Kleenex? Maybe I can dab my eye with very delicately. And then this came out. I think it kind of looks like a snowball.
Nobody
double
will
down
ever
on the
notice.
Snow White for me.
Snow White.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Our amazing producers to bring us everything.
I know. Thank you, Greg.
Here we go.
Oh,
little tissue.
The much more humane J.D. Mitchell. With an actual
whatever
product.
gets the job done. Hang on, wait, no, I would like to clarify. This is not toilet paper. This is paper towel.
Oh my God.
It's even more
Good scratchy
substantial.
retina.
his defense, I'm a guy. Yeah, okay. This is my delicate tissue. I'll let you guys continue.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
just making bets.
You're
Go ahead.
keying the favorite with an all?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing right now?
359.
Okay, 3-5. That feels a
3
little
over
bit better.
the 5, 9.
It's like, I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, just like you're not doing anything with my one. You guys are like
3 over 5, 9,
I
10.
do like the one. I like the one underneath. I don't think Vodka's going to win. I think
Okay.
Vodka could round out the exotics. I would include it on a trifecta, maybe an exacta, but
okay.
I mean, I'm 10-4, 3-1.
Oh, wow. And,
And they're riding Brian Moore, which is interesting, right? To me, if you're going to bring a horse over here and put him on the dirt, I don't know if you ride.
And again, these horses are coming into the gate right now.
All right, Alexa, you want to take one more shot? You want to redeem yourself?
Try again.
This is race 7.
This is race 7. Okay,
All right, the horses are just about entered. Alexa's going to bring us home here with this play call.
They're in the gate for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Well, they're not. There's one more to load.
Two more.
Two more to load. American Bikini is now in the gate. Last to load, the number 10, Scottish Lassie. My pick. They're now in the gate for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And they're off. Noonie off to a quick lead, followed by American Bikini to the outside. Actually, American Bikini now taking over.
What do we do? American Bikini on the lead.
Immersive in third, Vodka with a twist up in second now. Immersive on the rail with Scottish Lassie on the outside, followed by the 2 Snow White. First fraction in 22 flat. Rounding out the back of the pack is Quick Kick, not so quick.
but the Quick Kick's in great position because they went 22 and probably a half of 44
gosh, yeah,
Noonie is about 4 or 5 lengths in front of American Bikini, second in almost 45 flat. Vodka with a twist still on the rail. Who's that on the outside? The 10, Scottish Lassie. Scottish Lassie making a quick move on the outside. Vodka with a twist also making a quick move. American Bikini seems to be fading a little bit back, but Immersive is also making a move. Vodka with a twist has now taken over the lead. Scottish Lassie in second. Noonie chasing, but not able to
trying to keep her together.
Up.
Now ask her.
Immersive now
coming.
making the biggest move on the outside, and we have the 5.
Oh my God,
Quick Kick making a late move as well.
Come on, Vodka, battle back. Battle back for second. 5. Battle back for second, Vodka.
Immersive, the favorite.
Come on, Vodka, second.
Quick Kick making a quick move. But it will be Immersive over Vodka with a twist over Quick Kick over.
She wasn't going to beat the winner, but she ran a big race.
Ran huge. She moved a touch early, but she had to move eventually.
I mean, look, get off.
That was a good call. I'm sorry I screamed in your ear while you were making the call.
I want to say the call was great.
The call was great.
Yeah, no.
The call was
parts
great.
I heard were amazing. The parts I heard were spectacular.
Good. Look at her gallop out.
Wait, who finished thard?
The Quick Kick. It was Immersive over Vodka over Quick Kick over Scottish Lassie.
We should have.
She gotten together on it.
Wow, that was emotional, you guys. I just got.
Yeah, she cried.
Wow. I was moved. Dan,
I thought he
the
hit it.
Express Bets account is looking good.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean they were They were all tired.
I mean he's riding her right, and she must be once she gets going though.
Yeah, I don't know what those fractions were about. Noonie really just said.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth,
this is a really nice filly.
For what it's worth, the Japanese horses are like 0 for 2 races. So.
Dan over here just hating on the Japanese contender. You know, there's a lot of other horses
in the classic. I'm on Ushba in the classic.
Yeah, no, this doesn't make sense with that being your main guy.
No. Like I think there are a couple of Japanese horses today that they're gonna run big. Jamie, I don't know if you're willing to share, but you gave me a Japanese horse earlier. You feel pretty good about.
We like
the Tono, right? The Tono Carnival.
Yeah, and the
that's an
Juvenile
interesting
Turf,
bomb.
the one.
That's a bomb, right?
Yep. Evidently, she had Satono Carnival, I want to say it, had a really good turf workout here the other day. We'll see. At 20-1, I think you got to use it. I think this race is kind of wide open out of all of them today.
Okay, so that's the big pick. Now, give us for the rest of the weekend. Do you have? I don't know. You can either give us a juvenile pick or a classic pick for tomorrow.
So I like Arthur's Ride.
Really? So that's one I haven't even heard much about, which is kind of interesting. I haven't heard many people pick Arthur's Ride. I
mean, the two races that he ran up at Saratoga were visually really impressive.
Yeah.
The one on Belmont Day we were up there for, and I think that was 1.25 miles, maybe even racer 1 1/8.
Yep.
And then the Whitney, he looked really impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Belmont can train racehorses, as we know. He's pretty good at it.
Yep.
He's trained a few. He shipped last time he shipped horses cross country with Elite Power, the Sprinter he won here with, and then he won with Just FYI and some other horses. So he's got the east to west kind of shipping figured out, which a lot of them don't, because the horses. And he's a horse. I mean, the guy he's a horseman. He's pointed for this race. He's got a layoff. He ran a bad one, but they kind of ran a bunch of races in a row at Saratoga, and now he's off a layoff.
And he got pressed a little bit in that race earlier, and had to really. That was tough coming off a career best too.
I think that if the track stays, and it usually plays Southern California, he'll be right there.
Yeah.
I think him and Fierceness are going to go out and.
Yeah.
But if they don't, and the horse in there, I kind of like to, as a long shot, would be Sierra Leone.
Okay.
I think maybe he can get a second and third.
The odds on Sierra Leone are arcane. It's insane. That horse should not be that long.
What is Sierra Leone? You mean the morning line?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, because I do think there's been enough buzz around Sierra Leone that I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting somewhere around 10-1.
Yeah,
That's
people
ridiculous.
know the name.
10-1 is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I don't understand why people hate on Sierra Leone so much. This horse is an incredible horse who's always hitting the board and doing incredible. I don't know. I like Sierra Leone.
He needs a lot of pace to run at, as we know, and he's going to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, these are real race horses. They're going to go out and go, sub 20, 23.
Look what we just saw.
Yeah.
I mean,
and nobody's going to sit. It's going to go.
Apparently, even the odds makers have been burned one too many times by Sierra Leone. Because when I think of every big race this year, we're all like, it's going to be his time. He's training awesome. And then he's
going to need
doesn't win.
Well, he may not win, but I think he's going to hit the board.
Yeah.
He's never done worse than third.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I mean, he's never been. He's never even been more than 1 3/4 lengths off of winning. What is the deal?
He'll be there. He'll be there chasing.
Chasing. Jamie, before we let you go, one more time for the people just tuning in. Tell them where they can find out more about the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation.
Grayson-jockeyclub.org is our website. You can get there through the Jockey Club. America's Best Racing has links to it. Any of that stuff, we'll send out some social media posts for you guys, so maybe those guys can take it up. But, we're a 501c3, and every dollar counts.
All right.
It's all going to research. That's all we do. We fund equine research. And like I said, it benefits all horses, from all the horses that do therapeutic riding, the police horses, the race horses, the breeding animals, and it's all encompassing. It's not just one thing, but it's anything that could touch the health of a horse. But I'd also like to say, y'all are doing a great job. I also tune in and watch.
Awesome.
From The Office, because that is horse racing.
And I know he does. Because I remember even early on, when we started doing these live shows a couple of years ago, I remember you sending me messages like if we picked a winner or whatever it is. So we appreciate that.
Oh, no, just keep going. It's doing great. It's providing an experience that we're not going to give some other places. And it's going to provide an audience that, really needs this kind of service. So I'm really grateful for what you all do. And keep going.
Well, we're grateful for you. So Jamie Hayden stopping in with us, handicapping with us as well. He told us immersive would win. He just didn't want that short price.
East Avenue is going to be tough to beat, too.
East Avenue, same thing, yeah.
I mean,
Shouldn't believe in East Avenue for your exactas, everybody.
And I'm glad you're mentioning that because you're about to step out for a quick little break. We're going to bring in, we're going to do sort of a set change here.
Switcheroo.
But you'll be back,
I'll be back.
By the end of the show.
Yeah.
So, and Jamie, we'll check in with you soon. We'll obviously we'll see you around the office, if anything.
Thank you so much. She's going to go get a sweater.
It's a little chilly.
All right. As we let them go, you heard us mention Ushba Tesoro and the video that we did last year. We've created a shortened version of it to take a look back at the horse that I'm predicting, at least, to win the Classic this year.
さあどうさばく両徳寺健二ホールディングスの広瀬翔吾です。今日はウシュバテソールがブリーダーズカップクラシックに出場します。今回の両徳寺ホールディングスレーシングマネージャーのワースバードマイプラスウシュバテソールメンバーの通訳をしてます。
Ready for the start. They're off in the 40th Breeders' Cup Classic. And Arabian Night storms out of the gate. Saudi Crown couldn't get to the front as Arabian Night immediately comes to the inside and will grab the front end as they race by us for the first time. Saudi Crown is forced to go to the outside. Jockey is next. White Mario is fourth. And then it's Sandinois. Ushba Tesoro is beginning to move on the outside, but work to do as White Mario and Arabian Night turn for home together in the Breeders' Cup Classic. White Mario has taken the lead, and Ushba Tesoro are trying to close the gap, but it is White Mario and Brad Ortiz, and they have won the Breeders' Cup Classic.
あの馬もね、いいポジション取れてて力もあった馬だから、日本の馬としては嬉しいかなって。来年もチャレンジするから。
All right, well, I've made myself clear Ushba Tesoro is winning the Classic tomorrow, but there are a bunch of races, about 10 races between now and then. We have some new guests. Welcoming in Kyle Levy and Roberto Rodriguez. Guys, you've been waiting patiently. How you doing today so far?
It's been a while, but hey, we're here, brother. It's Breeders' Cup weekend. It's Friday. We got a gorgeous day here at Del Mar, blue skies, so it's good to be here.
Yeah. I mean, it's Breeders' Cup. You better be patient, so...
Oh, we're getting
no sooner can someone get their buns in the hot seat than Dan
all right,
offering to cool them down. Raspberry or pineapple, guys?
I'm a pineapple guy.
Wait, there's one more flavor. There's natural lime, if anybody wants some natural
I don't know why they got to throw the natural in there. Why are we doing that for?
Here we go. We'll give a little...
We're cracking.
Cheers. There you go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Happy Breeders' Cup.
Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
Slancha.
Are your eyes... how are your eyes doing, by the way?
They're good. They're good. Greg's emergency toilet paper wad from the bathroom really has been saving them.
Yeah, you missed out on a whole lot.
It's been all good fun. Kyle, I saw you over there working on top of a recycling bin. We're doing it all.
I was trying, all right? I had to get my last minute notes in, my last minute bets in, and get the picks going,
You've
all right?
been feverishly working. Have you actually been able to chill, enjoy the day?
So this is the thing about the Breeders' Cup. Every single time that it comes around, it's like I say this about the Derby. You have a week or two to handicap the Derby. Breeders' Cup is 14 races.
Yeah.
14 races with large fields.
And they give you just 72 hours to handicap.
They give you a short amount of time to handicap. It's a bunch of horses from other countries that I haven't necessarily been following up with, so it's a lot. I'm always overwhelmed when I get to the track. That was certainly true today, but we're trying to make some money, so let's make it happen.
All right. Well, Dan's been off to a pretty good roll here today.
Doing all right. Yeah.
And there's plenty more to go. What about you, Roberto?
My day begins really good. I hit with Magnum first.
Okay.
It was my top pick.
Is that your top choice?
What? Yeah.
Oh, we should have had you earlier.
Well,
that was my third choice.
You got my number, man. So you have to text me. That's
My
it.
bad.
It's tough to be the best dressed and to pick winning horses. Damn.
My father used to tell me, no matter what, you always has to try to look like $1 million man.
There
Because
you
at
go.
the end of the day, people can see inside your pockets. You never know. You know what I mean? So I just try.
I like that.
Yeah, no, that's look. I mean, obviously the optics are important, but on a weekend like this, you really have to pace yourself if you want to get out of here with your shirt on, right? You had a big one when you hit with a horse like 12-1. 12-1, 13-1, something
It's
like that?
12-1.
Yeah.
It was 20-1, like 1 minute before the
I
start.
saw that, yeah. And
Welcome
also,
to horse racing.
Yeah,
exactly.
The
We need to fix odds.
Yeah, we do. The 5 dropped slightly too. So I mean, but still, 2 long shots win. Now, when you start off that well, in your mind, so now you've got a little money to play with.
Exactly.
How are you approaching the rest of today and maybe even heading into tomorrow? Now that you've got a little confidence, you can take a few more risks?
I will keep the same approach, because you shouldn't change your approach even you're up or down.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in your picks, you already did your homework, you put your pick 5, regular, exotics, whatever. And then you got along. And then remember, we have another day tomorrow. So you're going to need some better runs. So
Here comes the pacing yourself
Exactly.
out.
That's the big point, right? We have tomorrow still. And it's
Exactly.
today's are all the races where
that's a good start, but
exactly
it's 30 more races to go.
Exactly.
And today's more unpredictable a little bit with the 2-year-old.
completely agree.
So
2 years old, usually.
That's where you might get the prices where
Exactly.
you got a 12-1 on a great horse who
Exactly.
made sense.
Tomorrow you're gonna have Cutburn, you're gonna have Torpedo and predictable horses. All
right, well, hey, the last couple races today have a couple big favorites. So
exactly.
if you can beat them, you're gonna
1
make
to
some
2.
money.
Are you looking up at this price
I
here?
am.
1 to 2.
That's
She's
quite
legit,
literally.
man.
I mean, how legit is she at 1
legit.
to 2? This is a 13, 14 horse field. We're talking about Lake Victoria, by the way. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, 25 minutes to race 8. Lake Victoria, the one horse, Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, 1 to 2. I mean,
It's too low to
I was gonna hope that he was gonna say it's not too
it is
low.
way,
but
it is way it's way too low to bet to win this filly.
Yeah.
But you said it. It is a good opportunity. Look at the rest: 40 to 1, 60 to 1, 14 to 1. Look at it's good for exactas.
Yeah,
no, I think that we just got to go through like the laundry list of these odds. So again, Lake Victoria, this very, very heavily hyped horse coming over from Ireland, part of Aidan O'Brien's crew, which is truly something to
Aidan's
behold.
Army.
I don't know if you guys
I
got to
haven't
see
seen
that
it.
in the
I haven't
morning.
seen it in the morning.
In the
yet,
flesh,
but-
okay. I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Let's go.
And at the start of the 4th movie, okay, if they're
I'm going to sit
Goblet of
back
fire,
here.
goblet of fire.
Crack
folks.
another White Claw.
I'm exposing myself by quoting the movies instead of the books. One of these days, I'll get around to reading them. But they're at
This
you
is
know,
also
the world,
making you emotional.
The Quidditch World Cup. This is the running theme for today.
Should I dab your eye?
I'm getting emotional now.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, everyone comes out on these brooms and they're flying in like a formation through the stadium. And that's exactly what Aidan O'Brien's horses are like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you. They come out in perfect line, one after the other. Like it really is impressive. So I get her odds, or you would make no money back if you bet her. That's how heavily
Victor Crumb.
favored she is.
Yeah.
But
That's a Harry Potter reference right there. Yeah. She's Victor Crumb.
Victor Crumb, she is.
She's 4 for 4, right? She hasn't been beaten so far. It's Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore. I will just say this, and I want you to go down because you mentioned going down the list. By the way,
Yeah.
our friend John Green, who was on the set earlier, who dropped off these hats, 2 of his horses are running here. But before we do that, Lake Victoria, Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore. When you hear Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, especially at the Breeders' Cup turf races, you're like, oh, this is great. But I do want to point out, this particular race, the Juvenile Fillies Turf, Americans have done well in this race.
Scott Brown owns this race.
He owns
pretty
this
much.
race. He does own this race. And he has a horse in this race that I actually like.
I know
feel
you don't
nobody-
like you don't like virgin drinks. Virgin Colada, she's
Let me
pretty good with this
explain
race.
where he's going with this. Okay, this does. I mean, all right. The 6 is Virgin Colada. We've got a video and all that. But no, this is the one race where I feel like you try to beat the Europeans, right? I mean, if 13 of the last 16 times we've beaten I mean, I found like I'm sounding like waving an American flag here. No, like dude. Oh, by the way, like this Old Smoke, which I'll also tell you more about. If you go to Old Smoke Clothing, this is a great time to plug this too because we haven't this far into the show. Look at the screen right now. That code ABR15 Old Smoke. Just this weekend, everything on Old Smoke's website is 15% off. And I only mention this because they've never done this before. They don't do discounts like this. So anyhow, Old Smoke. Thanks for reminding me. Go America. Go Old Smoke. Okay.
Dress like Dan.
Yeah. But no, like seriously, this is America's race. Like this is our turf race to win. So I was already planning to bet against Lake Victoria. Also, I was planning to bet against Lake Victoria because she's a speed horse and there's speed to her outside. And plus, I think I mentioned you upstairs. The races she's been running
Doesn't need a lead though.
She doesn't need the lead, but she's been running in like straightaways. And here she's got to navigate these turns.
That's the question.
Different.
She's only ran on straightaways.
Yeah.
How is she going to deal with the tight turns here at Del Mar? going 2 of them too.
But also she has been running with 128 pounds. And
That's
you have to
fair.
consider,
That's a fair
Yeah. Newmarket, Current, it's uphill, downhill. Now it's flat, it's fast, so I think it's not going to play on his favor.
But that's why the price is the way that it is. I know the people who can't see that what we're seeing. We see 1 to 2 and then a bunch of double-digit odds, with the exception of number 7, Thought Process. So looking at the Phil D'Amato horse, Thought Process, do you guys do you not like 3 for 3 on the turf?
Yeah, and
2 for 2 of them.
Yeah, 3 for 3 at the mile.
Actually, 3 for 3, actually.
And there's good buzz around this horse this week. There has been good buzz around this horse. What are we getting, 6 to 1? Look, I think that's telling.
I think that's a fair price, but agreed with you. I think that's telling. I think it's very telling.
Yeah. Rachel, you want to take us through this field? I know you're about to go through. The 2 horse was Nitrogen at 45 to 1 for John Green, who's also going to be pressing. This is a horse with some speed. It's going to be pressing Lake Victoria from right to our outside.
Correct. And Nitrogen is currently sitting at 45 to 1. But again, John came on and he talked about her and said, she acquired that name. She earned it from birth because she was lighter than air, which is nitrogen on the periodic table.
Oh, wow.
This is also ABR College over here. I don't know. I think that 5th graders are learning that stuff now. So going now, we got Nitrogen. Any of you guys like her? Yes, no?
No, I think 45 to 1 is more of a fair price than 15
right.
to 1. But
we're just going to have to turn one of these hats upside down so that John can't see us.
This upcoming price here that you're going to mention is unbelievable. The 3 horse, Coretto, for Graham Motion, who won this race in 2019 with Sharing. She's 70 to 1, the 3 horse.
I mean, that's a crazy price. That's a crazy price on a horse who you can make an argument for pretty much any horse.
Pedigree.
For pretty much any horse.
Amazing.
Pedigree's amazing. You got an English channel, getting back on the turf, had a great run, great debut, came back, finished 3rd. But that debut was at Kentucky Downs, which ain't a hard track to run at, especially for your first time. So the Miss Grillo, we've seen a ton of horses coming great from that. The 4 in this horse, Scythian, and also Virgin Colada, who I know you're a fan of. So I think it was a stronger race than the numbers are putting up.
Yep. Go ahead.
Especially the post that she had at Kentucky Down. Post position 10 and 7 furlongs is one of the toughest post position that you can have in that specific track.
It's. I mean that price blows my mind. Is she the longest shot on the board? She's the 2nd longest shot on the board. I mean,
that's crazy.
She's literally my 3rd choice. She's my 3rd choice, and she's the 2nd longest shot on the board at 71. All right, the 4 horse. This is the winner of the Miss Grillo. This is a tough name to pronounce. You want to go for
Kyle just
it?
did it effortlessly.
No, you don't want to put effortlessly Scythian. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
You just have to commit to it.
I'm no Frank Miramati or whoever's the caller out in.
Well, you're going to have to be, by the way. It's been this seat's job for the day to call the races so that the viewers.
Yeah.
I have some experience, folks. I have some experience.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But this is my top pick this race. Seriously. And not because I absolutely love it. Listen, Lake Victoria is going to be hard to beat. But if we're going to try to beat Lake Victoria, might as well take a price, right?
Yeah.
And Scythian, from the heart, I'm a Tis the Law guy. I'm a Saratoga guy, so Tis the Law means a lot to me. I like this horse. And took great to the Saratoga Turf back in August to break the maiden. Tactical speed should sit kind of right off the leader. So, I don't know. You see improvement in each run. 58 buyer on the dirt in the debut. 70 buyer when you change it to the turf. 77 next time out. So, if we can keep on that uphill trend, I don't see why Scythian at 15 to 1-ish could be a price to have in your picture.
In 3rd time turf, which is really good angle. So
I'm going to go with Kyle's pronunciation of Scythian, and I'm going to show you what happened last out in the Miss Grillo. We've got a replay, and this is important to watch because in this replay you'll watch the 3 horses who finish 1st through 3rd. They come back in this race in particular. So take a look at this. There's some action to watch here at the beginning of the race too. And actually, so we have this with no sound, so we could actually show it this way.
All right,
so look at the 3 horses. Virgin Colada actually gets squeezed and shuffled back at the start. Now the thing that's memorable about the Miss Grillo for me is kind of this craziness that happens at the top of the stretch when one of these horses bolts, takes out the 3 horses in front of Scythian.
Yep.
So, and then she inherits the lead there.
Exactly. So what do you take of that, though? Because the horse
So
took two
I
others
mean,
out
that
of the
certainly
race.
helped her. But what caught my eye was this move by Virgin Colada on the outside, getting by Corretto, who also ran a good race, and gets up and beats her just by a nose here at the wire. I like the way she ran on, so that's why I like Virgin Colada, who's the 6th horse here, and who's currently probably only the 4th or 5th choice at 21-1, which is crazy to think
This
about.
is a wild betting event.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you like anyone besides the one, bet what you like
Yeah.
because you're going to be getting a better odd.
And don't complicate it. I mean, you might just want to bet that horse to
Exactly.
win. I mean, because, you start getting into the exactas and trifectas in a race like this. I mean, you probably cut yourself a little short if Lake Victoria hits your exacta. And then you're just reaching for anything if Lake Victoria's out of the exacta. If you like one of these horses at 20, 25, 41, just put a win bet on that horse, I mean, this is, if Lake Victoria doesn't win, whoever does win is going to get paid pretty well, except for maybe Thought Process, who's now 5-1. So steady money coming in on Thought Process.
They like that one.
So go ahead, make the case. I mean, do you want to?
I like more than 6. I like the 1 to win.
Okay.
And Ice Cold Exacta with the number 6.
Ice Cold. So you like 1-6?
Yeah.
Okay, 1-6 exacta.
See, but
we can look
honestly,
at what that's going to pay.
I don't think that's a crazy bet to make because, listen, you accept that the 2-5 shot probably going to win, but you're taking a 22-1 shot in second place underneath.
Second place,
and
that's it.
while Dan's looking it up, I'm just going to guess. Maybe it'll pay 8-1, 9-1.
Let's see.
Depending on where.
I better take my chances with that.
Exactly, and I don't think that's a bad bet to do. So there's 3 races left today. Listen, do I like the 4 a lot? I do, and that's going to be who I'm betting from a price standpoint. But if you think that Lake Victoria is the for sure winner, and you're looking ahead at next race, and you think that East Avenue is the for sure winner, why not go single, and then take a price in the last race for a nice little pick 3?
Do that because that last race is wide open.
Exactly.
One thing that I like when I like at a lunch shot, let's say, for example, I have $12 to invest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like
the
to
way
play
you put
$2.
that invest.
$2 to
we're
win,
investing.
$4 to play, $6 to show.
Right.
I like.
Depending on, I mean, if you got your price.
It's a long shot.
Yeah, if it's a long shot. Yep. By the way, the payout, so just to
In
give
this
you a
case,
sense.
you're number 4. I think it's a good opportunity to
Yeah,
play
fair.
like that. So.
All right, so let's hear what the 1-6.
1-6
Exacta
exacta
would
for $2 pays $46 right
I mean,
now.
that's a good
So that's
bet.
23 to 1.
I'm with you.
23 to 1 is nice. Yeah, I like 23 to 1.
I guessed 9
Buy
to
you a
1.
dinner.
I like 23 to 1. What now? Here are a couple other interesting ones. If you like, like if you wanted to go chalk 1-7, you're getting 8 to 1. So if you do Lake Victoria over Thought Process, which I mean you probably wouldn't do in a 14 horse field, expecting them both to fire and finish 1-2, that's only paying 8 to 1. Yeah. I'll take 23 to 1 over 8 to 1 and take my chances with Virgin
Chad
Colada.
Brown has won this race 6 times.
6 times, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely nuts.
Which is absurd.
That's absolutely.
Which is absurd. And I don't know if it's just me. I go back and forth when I'm saying, all right, Chad Brown's won this race 6 times, and the Euros are just 3 for 16. I make 2 different arguments against myself. All right, yeah, that's the history. History can change. It's one individual year. It doesn't matter what happened the past 15 years. This is the race. Look at it and stop thinking about what happened before. But I'm making this argument. Sometimes I don't take my own advice. So.
I'll tell you one crazy stat about Chad Brown that you can find. In the last 4 years, he has won at least 20 stakes with 20 different mares.
That's
on
wild.
turf.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's hard to have in your barn one horse to win a stake.
Yeah.
He has won at least 20 on turf mares in the last 4 years.
Yep. That's unbelievable.
It's wild.
It is.
I mean, statistics do kind of speak for themselves. I don't know if you fancy yourself a what do they call that? A statistician?
I love it.
Did I add an extra continent in there? Continent. Oh my God, am I okay? The Virgin Colada.
I think the money in the 7
Okay.
is local money.
Really? Yeah.
I think so.
That's Little Red Feather, right? Is it Little Red Feather?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean the money on the 7? It's 5 to 1, and the horse was 5 to 2 before.
Yeah, but I mean, this is. I still think it's a
Wait, the
a
7
lot
was
of
5 to
local
2
money.
morning line?
5 to
5
2
to 2, which
morning
is-
line.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
That's
the 7 was
where-
5 to.
So
I didn't realize 7 was 5 to 2 morning line.
It's
Wow.
like why Mortorius is 9 to 2 and More Than Luke is 20 to 1
That's
and the
fair.
Breeders' Cup Mile.
Listen, the thing is, this horse has been only racing in California and hasn't raced against anyone crazy impressive. That's my thought on thought process. So, yeah, 3 for 3 on the turf. turf, but just still, even last race, the Surfer Girl, the grade 3, small, weak field.
Yeah,
she's fast and she can keep the pace going for the mile, but I don't know. I don't think
the fact, the Surfer Girl's never been like a great sort of like setup for this. The fact that she won by maybe 4.5 lengths is what's maybe exciting people, and that she's been working well and everything else.
Sweet. The third place horse in that was Tigerish, who granted was scratching this. Was the 16th
Kyle
horse.
is not having thought process. All right, Rachel, take us through the rest of this field. We start with the 8 at 20 to 1.
Okay, the 8 is Heaven's Gate, another Aidan O'Brien horse. One of many that we'll be seeing the next couple of days. What are we thinking about Heaven's Gate? Looking past it, it's currently 20 to 1.
I don't have any significant notes on Heaven's Gate. I mean, I there's no case I can make. I mean, as a horse that has run in some, group stakes company in Europe, and who knows? I mean, could be there.
A level like a B level group.
Yeah.
Different than Lake Victoria. So.
Yeah, and you've got Aiden's number 2 rider, Wayne Lorden.
I think it was pretty telling, obviously, that this was going to happen. But Ryan Moore choosing to stay on Lake Victoria as opposed to Heaven's Gate, you kind of expected that to happen, but that's telling enough for me. So the horse, plenty of talent. I actually don't hate Heaven's Gate, and one of the angles that I love taking is when a horse has been favored in the past couple starts. This horse has been the odds-on favorite in the past 4 starts, has 2 wins of those 4, but now you're getting a really high price on this
20 to
horse.
1, yeah.
So maybe that'll make me want to dip my feet in a little bit, but from a win perspective, no. It's all Lake Victoria for me, honestly.
Kilwin.
And I mean, Kilwin, if we're going to the Lexington, that's a big Blue Nation racing horse right there. BBN with George Arnold.
2 for 2.
Kentucky Downs.
Nobody? No takers?
Stretching out. I mean, the horse is 15 to 1. The horse is taking
Oddly
some
enough,
money.
This horse is taking a little bit of money. I mean, I can make a case for it. It's
of course.
running on 2 tracks, 2 different distances, is stretching out here, is 2 for 2.
This is what's on Kyle's shoulder every race. Is like, this is what I could say about everything. You've got like
every single horse you can make an argument
There's something good
for.
I can make an argument for.
That's what makes horse racing fun. No?
But it's true. It's true. Everyone can have an opinion, and then very soon you get to find out who's right and who's wrong, which is one of my favorite things in life. Number 10. Is this the... No, it is not the longest price. 70 to 1. Mark Cassidy.
Colin Davis was on my flight to San Diego, so is that a sign? Could that mean something?
I mean, depends
Probably
how...
not. Probably not.
Something.
I think that this might be a French name on the number 10. Aviento.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded right.
It sounded a lot more.
I know that's not Spanish. No, looking at me, that's not Spanish.
That's right. Aviento.
And then there's just a couple more to go through between the 11 that is 50 to 1. That's Fiery Lucy coming over from England, and the 12 Mayday Ready, which I think that's
You're in? You're on?
I think that's also funny to name a filly Mayday Ready. Usually you think that would go to a Derby colt.
She has shown a lot of courage in the last all 3 races. It seems like she's giving up, and as soon as she see the other horse, she continue fighting. I mean, that's another big price.
This is 12 Mayday Ready.
Frankie Dettori, she's on the outside, which is she shouldn't have any traffic problems. So that's another horse that you can look at for this race.
Now she only beat Totally Justified by a nose. I mean, does that mean you like Totally Justified a little bit at 35 to 1? The 5 horse.
I'll speak for him and I'll say no. for me, it seems like, I don't know. I like Mayday Ready a little bit, and it seems like she just knows when to get up right in time. It seems like she's made her move right in time. And Frankie Dettori has been
you
a
have
jockey.
the rider who knows
Frankie
to get
Dettori
right on time.
has ridden her 3 times in a row. 3 different tracks, 3 wins, 3, not different distances, but pretty much different distances. Gets back on her today. You're giving me, 15 to 1-ish on this horse? I think this is a great shot for one of the Americans here, who's been working great, and Frankie's been aboard for every single work as well.
Guys, I've got some breaking news for you, and that is that I have the horse who's going to finish first and second in this race. That is not Lake Victoria. I've been waiting to talk about this horse. I don't love the draw, but I think the horse is talented, doesn't need to get to the front, could drop back, and is going to make a massive, massive run, and that's the 13 Vixen. This horse was 3 wide throughout in most of the Natalma Stakes, dug in, got the lead, and then had a horse battle back on her. Really gutsy effort. I think she's got a ton of talent. This is Eclipse and DJ Stables. So where's the Vixen hat? Is the Vixen hat there?
We got a Vixen hat?
It's over there. Oh, yeah. It's over here. So there's Vixen. So I'm going to go ahead and move Vixen there, put that there.
What are you giving?
And that's Dream On. That's Dream On. So you still got Vixen, the 13 horse, is 25-1. Oh, there you go. Sing it.
That was good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Nicely done.
I'm no Steven Tyler, but
that was pretty good.
All right, what do you think about Mark Cassie putting 3 in here, though, and Vixen being the 3rd? Does that ever do trainers throwing multiple entries into a race?
Well, I tried in the next race, Baffert has 3 in the Juvenile, and I figure that at least one of them, if not 2 of them, are going to be up really close to the pace, and one could sit just off. Over here, same sort of thing. Nitrogen for Cassie has got a good amount of speed, I think is going to press Lake Victoria. Now, I don't think they entered this race with a thought, first of all, John Green said, we were just happy we got into this race with Nitrogen. Vixen, who missed by a neck in the Natalma, is a horse that, can be anywhere. I mean, she's been close up, she's been way back, and she's been kind of in that sort of mid-pack. I think Cassie, if there is any instruction given, it's that Nitrogen's going to go and to try to soften up Lake Victoria. Yeah, exactly. So. And that's it. And that could soften up Lake Victoria. Unless they take back with Lake Victoria, and then you now have the question, can Lake Victoria win from off the pace while navigating the turns? So, I don't know. You now have 2 questions. If Nitrogen goes, which I can't imagine they don't, because as you mentioned, that's Cassie's speed horse in this
One
race.
thing I know for sure, Lake Victoria had the perfect rider for that.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, look, I mean, the horse is 3-5 for a reason.
What caught my attention in the mornings when she was talking about Adrian O'Brien, horses work. Ryan Moore always was on Lake Victoria and not on Serial Troy.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So that caught my attention. Something,
That's some insider tea.
Yeah,
coming in hot.
I didn't know that. That's really good.
I didn't know that either.
Every day he was on Lake Victoria, and being the Breeders' Cup Classic, the main event, the big deal with Serial Troy, he adapt to the Deere. Everybody was expecting to have the rider.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was on Lake Victoria. So I think that tells you a lot. So
it's a tough betting race, and in the sense where you have to pick one side. Are you picking Lake Victoria, or are you picking someone else? And honestly, if I was to be given a just 50-50 bet, are you betting on Lake Victoria, or are you taking the field? I think I'm taking the field. Just because...
50-50?
All right, if it was 50-50... if I'm getting even money, I'll take Lake Victoria. But right now, it's 3-5, and that means it's probably going to be more like 2-5
You talk about 75-25, I'll take the field.
All right, 75-25, you'll take the field?
I'll take the field.
I think that's fair. If you could get 75 or 2-1 on every horse in the field versus Lake Victoria, who are you taking?
I'm betting my ass off right now.
Dan is over here. He's taking this moment of silence
to answer your question.
To spend money gambling.
To answer your question, I am taking a stand against Lake Victoria. I don't know that she's going to finish last, but I don't think she hits the board.
Whoa! Oh my God!
We like slow takes here. We like
what are you drinking?
Come on!
Let me taste that.
It's just about to start smashing
whatever he's got in his
head.
drink. I'll have what he's having. Hey,
this is going to be.
Oh shoot!
Oh, it's close.
We're good.
This is going to be me and Roberto. At the end of this race, one of us is going to be laughing, one is going to be crying, and I think that I'm probably going to be crying.
I like your take on it. That's how you make money when we're betting the ponies, right?
Yeah, that's
you
what it's
throw
all
out
about,
the horse
man.
that's 1-5. You throw out the horse that's 3-5. Whatever. I threw out fierceness in the Derby. Did I win? No, I didn't have Mystic Dan, but I was at least right on something. And that's how you set yourself up for these big paying scores if that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
If you want to just take the chalk, take the chalk. Maybe throw your second best place in horse underneath or look at the doubles.
That's what made this sport so passionate.
Yeah.
I mean, it is race after race. We competing each other, but at the same time, we having fun each other. So,
Your face just now was like, I'm never going to forget the face that you made when you looked up. I'm never going to forget that.
The jaw was on the floor. And the horses are coming onto the turf right now. Only a minute left, and still every single horse is at double numbers on odds, -1 and 7. So this is the final chance to make your selections. What bet would you advise people to make?
Lake Victoria to win, Virgin Colada,
Which is
well,
the
Dan
6th.
doesn't like to drink, for the second place. Number 6. 1-6, exacta.
Okay.
All right, I'll try to go for some money then. I'll go with the 4 Scythian, if that's how we pronounce it. The Mott horse gets Junior back aboard. Changed completely when he took on the turf. 3rd time on the turf here today. Let's make it the 3rd win on the turf today.
That's a good bet.
Whoa, that was a statement. I like the way that ended.
You know, you got to fake it till you make it, right?
Proclamations. I'm over here starting sentences, not knowing how they're going to end. And that is the case with these horses. Obviously, Lake Victoria, I would probably include in an exacta. And I'm going to go ahead and spice it up with thought process in there. Well, that's not really spicing it up. Those are the least priced horses in the field.
Hey,
no,
you're getting.
If I hit that
you're getting
exacta,
9
I
to
will
2.
do the salsa dance right here.
And Dan, as they're loading in the gate, what's your exacta?
I've got a lot of bets. I'm betting 13. I'm betting
I got the 2 to show, the 4 to show.
I'm betting the 13 Vixen across the board. I'm betting exactas. I've got exacta box with the 6, 3, and 13. So that's Virgin Colada at 17-1, Coretto at 75-1, and Vixen at 28-1. And then I've got some trifectas where I did include Lake Victoria in the trifecta, just in case she sneaks in for 3rd.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Look,
just to show me. Listen, I put it in my.
The horses are loading into the gate here, and Kyle, are you going to be our
you got to
designated
do it.
race
Do you have
caller?
the horses in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think so. Yeah, I'll be all right.
It's locked and loaded. I can open up a program in front of you.
I
if
did
that's
the
helpful.
Derby and the Preakness, so we'll see how I do in this one.
Okay.
But-
He's coming in highly
Jesus,
regarded.
guys. Oh, man, this is a
Go.
lot. We're going to let someone else take this over after I fail. But no, this is going to be a good race, and it changes everything from a horizontals perspective. If Lake Victoria can win this race, we'll see what happens. But if someone else can come in, we're going to see some big prices in these pick 5s. All right, looks like we just got the 14 to load. They're all in line. Ashanda, I hear Larry Colmus in my ear. And they're off. Am I really doing this?
Yeah, go for it. All right, Lake Victoria not on the lead.
Lake Victoria not on the lead. Wow, it's tough with Larry also in my ear. It looks like the 9 has taken the lead. The 9 will be Kilwin, the early leader, but Thought Process, the horse who didn't take too much money for Phil D'Amato, gets the early lead on the rail. To his outside is the 9, Kilwin, followed by big group of people. It looks like we got 3 behind him. Number 3, Coretto, the Grand Motion horse. To his outside is the 10, Abionte, the French horse. We don't know how to pronounce that. Behind him is the 13, Vixen. Behind him, the 1, the 2, the 4, and then a long, long way back is Ashanda, the Irish horse, at 85-1. But right now it is Thought Process in the lead at 9-2. A good price if you back this horse at 5-2 on the morning line. Followed by him is the 9, Kilwin still, and to his outside is still number 3, Coretto. On the inside on the rail is number 1, Lake Victoria, the favorite at 3-5. Aiden O'Brien and Ryan Moore riding the rail, waiting to make their move. 3 to his outside. Can't really tell. Don't have the numbers. Can't see the silks, but it's pretty tight. Very tight. Probably only 7 lengths separating this entire field. Still on the lead is Thought Process. Behind him is Kilwin. Looking on the inside is number 3, Coretto. On the outside, Lake Victoria makes her move. Ryan Moore is going to send very early and probably win this race by 5 lengths. But the question is who comes in second, and it looks like it will be May Day Ready, followed by number 2, Nitrogen.
Who won?
At 49-1.
Wow.
And it wasn't much of a race.
Had a lot of trouble.
She's decent. She's decent.
She's decent, right?
So
yeah, look, and she got out and she just exploded.
So,
Lake
folks,
Victoria.
I won't do that.
And you made the case for Mayday Ready too. You made that case.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And
Hot
nitrogen at 45 to 1. Give me, where's nitrogen?
En fuego. En
Give me
fuego.
nitrogen
That's
back.
on fire, man.
That's on fire.
Honestly, he kind of nailed
All
that.
right, well,
If
now you
were-
got to stay. Now you can't leave.
Yeah, no. You
Now you
can't
can't
leave.
leave. Now you
Hang
can't
on.
leave.
No, and Kyle can't leave because what the hell was that?
I
That
know.
race call, that was
Yeah.
insane.
That was spectacular.
I was just sat here.
That was my inner shout out to
And
Larry.
he's willing to do the next one in Spanish.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you got to do the next one in Spanish.
No way.
Yes.
Se fueron.
All right, my game plan for a minute. I'm going to bring them in. I got to hit the bathroom.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
I got this for you.
Yeah, all right.
we-
I'm going to leave it in your hands. I'll call Griffin over to sit here.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call him.
Sure.
All right, you get to hang for a few more minutes. You got to get.
Yeah,
back.
absolutely. No. Okay,
This guy's got money in
You're
his
not going
pocket.
anywhere. Just stay where
He's
you are.
all
Have
right.
some popcorn.
Yeah, you guys are good. We're hanging out. We're having a good time.
I mean,
That was nuts.
the race went pretty much
She's
how we
so good.
expected it, right?
Yeah,
It went
I
how-
mean, I will say Lake Victoria, that was a bit
She's
more
very
suspenseful
talented.
than I thought it was going to be.
This is one thing that I like from Breeders' Cup when you are able to watch these animals, you know, especially European that you don't get to see often like we do our horses. This is one of the part that I like the most of the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Because Japanese representation, 19 horses. That's record for them. And they are aiming for the next year to bring more. And one thing that I find out I think it was yesterday, they do like kind of scouting with their horses. So whatever they bring here, it is talent. So
Yeah, it's a next level situation here. Griffin, pick up this microphone here.
Right now?
Live. Yeah,
We're
well,
live, brother.
Where's the camera right there?
welcome to the set, Griffin Johnson. This
Griffin?
is a racehorse
meet you.
owner that hopefully will make it here one day, but Griffin's involved in horse racing via America's Best Racing Stake and Stardom ownership program.
That's right.
And so we work with West Point Thoroughbreds, and they graciously offer people like Griffin shares in racehorses that are up and coming. And Griffin's got a pretty serious horse. I know the next race that's up on the agenda is going to be one where we get to see who could be the top
Stings a little.
3-year-olds next year. But he has Sandman. Have you guys heard of this horse?
Absolutely have. Lost the Iroquois, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Here we go.
Unfortunately.
Here we go.
So,
How's it been, though? Is this, Griffin, this been your first horse that you've been involved on?
Yeah, I mean, first horse, so obviously super blessed, right?
Hey, for a first horse, it's not the worst.
It's
worst
a
one
good
to
way
have,
to
yeah.
go, right? It's been it stings a little bit on this next one, but a lot of great horses, so I'm excited for it.
For sure.
Yeah, and I want to know what your feeling has been out at the Breeders' Cup, bopping around. Obviously, you were at Derby. That was like your first big horse race.
Yep.
But before that, he was like a casual race goer at Gulfstream. So
That's right.
he's been around it, but now he's
Let's go.
Yeah,
you know, now I feel like you're really addicted to the sport. So what's the Breeders' Cup scene been like for you?
Yeah, well, Derby was my first. Obviously, spent a lot of time at Gulfstream. Breeders' Cup is just a different level of seriousness.
It's crazy.
The atmosphere is definitely a lot more diehard race fans. They are strictly here to bet a lot more money than I've ever made, and you can definitely feel it. It's like sucking out of the air, I feel like. Whereas Kentucky Derby and even Saratoga, there was a little bit more looseness. Obviously, the dressing up was a lot more of a staple piece of it. So Breeders' Cup's been cool. I really like it, especially getting into this space. It's very, very serious. So
I know. So we'll keep it more light, easy, breezy. Although, Griffin admits he was new to the sport this year, but he has massively taken it upon himself to educate himself in racing and understanding what's going on with his horse. So have you picked out any winners today? Any horses or?
Well, speaking of
the bank account doing today.
Speaking of Sandman, Jonathan's Way is coming up in the next race. Jonathan's Way put a nice little spanking on Sandman at Churchill, so I think he's actually odds to win this next race. But that's a monster of a horse, and honestly, it'd make me feel better if he did win. So then at least I know Sandman lost to one
there
of...
you go. That's kind of like the... it's almost like when you're rooting for your NBA team or your NCAA team and they lose. It's like, well, I kind of want the team that beat us to win because it makes us look a little bit better,
A little bit better, right?
But I mean, okay, I was trying to explain this to Griffin. I think that you guys could speak to it a little bit better. When you have a horse that's coming into form the way that Sandman is, even if he's not at Breeders' Cup, how does that impact his Kentucky Derby dreams? Like, in a way, do you think that the horses that are in their peak form right now, that could work as a disadvantage 6 months down the road?
No, I think it's almost like you want to get hot at the right time, man. Like, seriously, you look at MLB players, baseball players, maybe they're getting cold right before the playoffs. It's not a good thing. You want to get hot right before the playoffs. So the Derby, it's not for another 6-7 months. You're all right just chilling right now. You were in a Derby prep. You were in the first Derby prep. That's good enough. The horse who won last year's Derby prep didn't finish in the top 10 in the Derby. So the first one is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So you're going to be okay. Just let the next months go by. Hope the horse stays healthy. Hope the horse progresses and get yourself back on that Derby trail, and you'll be okay with Sandman.
Exactly.
What do you think, Roberto?
Especially that transition from 2-year-old to 3-year-old is going to be more mature, and you also want the Derby to be his third race of the year. So you give it a couple preps, January, one maybe in March, and have the horse ready for obviously you have to get the points.
Yeah.
And have the horse ready for the Derby. That will be my plan.
No, but don't be upset that you didn't get the 10 points that you get towards the Derby for not winning that race, because down the road there's going to be races that the first place horse gets.
There's plenty of points.
So you're okay. So it's very early
second,
and it's fun.
Finishing second in one big race could put you in the Derby
100%.
Easily.
100%. So it's fun to be involved in a cool horse like that, and everything that you go from here on out, good luck, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a cool experience.
I want to hear more about, you've gotten to hang out with Sandman, actually. What's some of his personality? For those of you who haven't seen it, first of all, you need to follow Griffin, because he posts regular updates about his horse. Like, you're truly very invested in him, and your followers are invested in him. So what can you tell us about his personality and his vibe?
Yeah, so, I think his personality is actually kind of a testimony to how his performance has been. He's very docile for a Tappet, colt. A lot of times they come out, they're a little sporadic. They have some pretty crazy personalities. He's actually very, very calm. I've spent a lot of time feeding him peppermints and kind of walking him around some nice workouts, and honestly couldn't ask for a nicer thoroughbred, So I do love that. It makes great content. But it also plays a little bit. I think he's still coming into his actual form. He's a big guy. He's a lot of horse.
How many hands is he? 16.2 or something?
Yeah, maybe 16.3 or 4 now.
Oh my God, growing boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. So I'm excited for it, and most importantly, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
And the West Point crew, they always give you a great experience and interaction with them. Terry's not out here with us, Terry Finley, who's a great friend.
Great guy.
How often does he reach out to you to try and talk horses and stuff?
I would say definitely every race we speak. Anytime Sandman's on the track, around the track, we're probably going to exchange a few messages. Also, shout out to Mark Cassie. He's been great. Super great guy, super interactive with me and just making sure I know what's going on. So shout out to him and Terry, really, because they've expedited my learning by a lot. So
no, and you do so a lot yourself. He's out here quoting, Tappets.
Yeah, that was wild to me.
the name, Metallica, that name.
It's a good name. And the funny thing is, one of Griffin's friends and business partners, his last name is Sandman.
Yep.
And so it was just like a funny coincidence that ended up working.
It's funny
out.
how things work out sometimes, right? I mean,
it worked out really well, actually, and it had no correlation. So that's kind of a fun fact, I guess.
That is awesome.
So I'm curious to hear what other friends of yours think about you being involved in the sport.
Oh, yes. A lot of jealousy around. No, not really. But they do. I've had a lot of interest in racehorses. So coming from the influencer space, I think there's been definitely a lot more, I guess, publicity around horses lately, especially nice thoroughbred horses. So a lot of people asking me, how do I get involved? How did you get into horses? This is so random. Anything around that. That's the PG version, but it skews from across the board. I think actually the funniest interaction was Dave Portnoy. He has a podcast with one of my friends, and he pretty much said like, oh, he must own maybe like a pinky toe. So now when Sandman runs around the track, I'm cheering on my little pinky sliver of Sandman.
You can root on your pinky sliver as if you owned 100% of that animal. Because that's horse racing, all right? Most of the people around here, they're not owning 100% of the horses.
Exactly.
They have a little sliver.
That's
so
my little pinky
you're
toe.
okay, brother. You're
Going
okay.
around.
No, and trust and believe, Macy, Griffin's girlfriend, got in on the comments and said, horses have hooves, Dave.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
Which
that's incredible.
You love to see it, but I feel like overwhelmingly it's been a positive experience. I don't know if you had any perceptions around horse racing before you got involved and kind of what you see it as now. Obviously, we get so accustomed to it because we're in it, we're in the game. But are there any hot takes that you can give to viewers back home that maybe don't see what we see all the time?
Yeah, definitely I've seen that. A lot of the, it's a big community, but it's also a niche community. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen is just people don't understand how to get into horse racing.
Yeah.
And, the delta of being able to get into it is really not that high. I think that even if you're just going to the races and watching, it's always a great atmosphere. Good, nice outfits, good food, good drinks. Obviously, betting's always fun. So
I have a hopeful answer here. What's been the favorite track that you've been to?
Ooh, okay.
Oh my goodness!
I say this because
this is good.
I
Yeah,
have a
Kyle has
very
one in
hopeful
mind.
answer.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping.
Really? Okay. I would say, are we
And it
talking?
doesn't necessarily be the track, just everything itself. What was your best race experience? What track that? Whatever.
Okay, I'm a little biased because I'm actually from Southern Illinois.
All right, Gulfstream. Oh,
Nope.
Oh,
Churchill.
Oh, I didn't know you were going that route.
Yeah,
Okay,
Churchill
fair.
for me has been my favorite, I guess, experience all around. Saratoga was awesome.
That
too.
was what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Saratoga.
That's yours, Saratoga?
I'm a Saratoga guy. I live there. So.
Yeah,
It was
Kyle
beautiful.
actually has a little cot in one of the saddling
Yeah, pretty
stalls,
much,
and he just lives
She's
there.
messing with you.
One advice for the next year. Probably they're gonna hate me to say this, but
Okay.
if you guys decide to take Gulfstream Park route, you got the Holy Bull, Fontana Youth, Florida Derby.
Pegasus.
Do not try the 3 races. No horse that has participated in the 3 races has won the Kentucky Derby.
So don't do it.
Don't do it all
Bad
3.
juju. Okay.
2.
Okay. 2 at the most.
Fontana Youth, Florida Derby, or Holy Bull.
Those
and,
are
and
the
Florida
prep
Derby.
races for the Derby. So the
Exactly.
horses
That's
that
why
are,
the
horses
not
that are
all
going to
3
be in the
though.
Derby.
Just
Exactly.
2.
No, all 3.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Gulfstream is,
I love Gulfstream Park.
I do
but
too. I do
numbers
too.
are numbers.
I'm gonna call up Mark. Hey, Mark.
I have some advice I would like to share with you. You're going to want to listen to this one. No, I feel like he would take that on in board, though. You're right. Mark Cassie is such a cool guy. If anyone would be down for that, it's him. I mean, again, a lot to look forward to. I want you to be able to get back out there and continue enjoying the races. But what we're going to get into, we're 23 minutes away from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
That's
so
right.
you mentioned Jonathan's Way.
Jonathan's Way.
The 5-horse, which is not currently the odds-on favorite. East Avenue.
East Avenue.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
East Avenue, highly, highly hyped horse.
Not gonna lose.
So before
Who?
you leave, I
East
want
Avenue?
these guys to tell you.
I
First of all, should he be hoping that Jonathan's Way wins? I know it's a tricky position when there's a horse in a race. They beat your horse.
I'm a
you know?
newbie here.
Jonathan's Way is a good story, man. Everyone loves Jonathan's Way, right? That's been the talk of the
damn
town.
it. Okay.
Here we go.
You heard the story, right?
No, that's
Ish. You tell it. I don't know.
No,
fully.
no.
No, I
You
don't.
go.
No.
I I actually don't know it.
I don't know the whole. I set myself up for failure here. Anyways, so the owner and trainer of Jonathan's Way got in a plane crash. No, correct, and they survived.
Oh my God!
How am I breaking this news to you, Rachel?
I heard something. They got in an accident, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was a plane crash, and they're both still kicking it, still here today.
Let's go.
It's a big
That's
story. So
baller.
it's awesome. And honestly, the horses
God.
ran 2 times, won both the times, absolutely romped. Has a great shot today. So if you want to bet on a good story, you want to bet on Jonathan's Way, go for it. I don't think that the one East Avenue is going to lose. So that's just my opinion. though.
Okay, yeah. East Avenue is like probably the most hotly talked about horse in this race. Roberto, why is East Avenue the most highly talked about horse in this next race?
Probably the way that he won the Breeder Futurity wire with a track favoring the closers. So he wasn't supposed to do what he did. He wasn't supposed to do what he did. So, and then post position, I think is good for him. He's a short stretch here. However, I don't like it.
Really?
There's Chancer McPatrick is my topic.
I love Chancer McPatrick because also
Why?
that name.
Because that horse is there is no normal to see a horse overcome race after race everything that he had overcome in the first 3 races. And I think it's just gonna get better and better as long as the distance, which is the case. I know the last 2 times the track favored, his running style, which is okay. But this horse is very, very talented. And I'm a huge fan of the gallop ups. I like to watch the horses after the wire, how they doing. And this horse just continue to run. And I think he's gonna get the pace. I like him actually on the outside because he's not a fast horse at the start. So anyway, he's gonna break. Pratt is going to take his time. He's going to take it to the inside.
And him being on the outside post, it doesn't even matter.
Let everybody go.
Let him go because...
Exactly.
And I mean,
and then he's going to begin his run.
And when Dan tags back in, we'll get into the deeper analysis. But you heard it here first. Chancer McPatrick and Kyle, I'll give you a chance. And then Griffin, you can go place your bets and back one of their decisions. I'm going to give you the winner one,
but whatever you listen to, that's what you listen to.
The winner's one. I'm still going with Jonathan's Way.
All right.
If he loses, he has no option because I said so.
I love it. I hope you win, dude. I really do. But hey, we'll see. That's horse racing. That's what makes it fun. You can talk about a race for as long as you want before it, and at the end of the day, they're horses. No one really knows what's going to happen. Listen, I might be saying something that people don't really want to hear, but it is the truth. Someone could have a bad day. You have a bad day. I have a bad day. Stuff happens. So even
I think Ferocious is going to run good today.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
I think he's going to run
That's
good
another
today.
horse that, by the way, if Sandman continues on this trajectory of being on a Derby Troy,
that's a horse.
That is a horse that
it
he
is
is going to 100% be looking at. And I don't know. It's going to shake out to be a good race. It sounds like Griffin's backing Jonathan's Way. He's going to continue
100%.
to root on the horse that bested
die on
his
that
own
hill.
horse.
I'll die on that hill.
Which,
I hope I see a video of you celebrating very hard when the horse crosses the wire, and then you go into the teller and cashing a nice ticket for a bunch of money on Jonathan's Way.
Yeah, I'll be on Jonathan's Way until the Kentucky Derby. Then it's Sandman.
Then it's Sandman time.
then it's showing up all Sandman. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Griffin.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to see what's next for Sandman and following that journey into next year. Fingers crossed. And I'll let you go make your bets now on Jonathan's Way.
All right, big race here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Griffin.
Good to have you.
Well, again, like I said, we're now 18 minutes to post from the big one, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Would you guys say, to you, is this the biggest race that's happening today?
Honestly, I think that's a fair statement.
It is. It is fair. I would say
expecting
yes.
I would say
yes. But it was a lot of expectation also to see Lake Victoria. I would say.
Okay, yeah. So Lake Victoria, that's obviously a big one. But again, what makes this race so interesting is the Derby, Triple Crown, all of that stuff.
Biased. I'm so biased as like an American, as someone who has seen most of these horses actually run, and knowing that a few of these horses are probably going to be in the Derby next year.
Yeah.
I love this race. I love this kind of race, and I love when I can look at a form and be like, all right, I know who's coming in first, second, maybe third.
Okay.
And that's what I think I have. But I don't.
Oh, that's a bold. That is a bold
That was cool. How'd you do
statement.
No, but all right. Going down the road.
And I mean, again,
I would say
Roberto,
favorites will dominate this race, I think.
Exactly.
favorites will dominate this race.
Don't look for long shots. I think the favorites will dominate this race.
And that's almost how
They are very talented horses. So.
surface level, when I first look at a race, I almost think, all right, is the favorite just going to roll here, or is there a shot that something else can happen, some craziness can happen? When I was looking at this race, I was like, favorite. All right, yeah, favorite. Yeah, the top 4 horses are the 4 best horses by a long shot in this race, and I couldn't make an argument for anyone underneath them, honestly.
Which, okay, Roberto, we want to be able to let you go, continue living your day and your Breeders'
Thank
Cup
you very
Friday.
much.
I feel like he's the one that's now, like, we've all set up a cot and we're just living here on this set the way that Kyle does in the tack room at Saratoga. So you gave us your breakdown of Chancer McPatrick
Correct.
being your bet in this race.
Exacta with Ferocious, number 4.
Okay.
10-4.
Ferocious.
No East Avenue. Did I miss something?
No, yeah, he's not down with it. Wait,
I'll go
it was
watch
just
the
an
replay.
ice
He's
squint.
Not down with it.
How did my backside look when I jumped down there earlier?
I don't know why you're
you
drinking.
did
Oh, there's more technical support coming from me right now. I am a mess. So
Dan leaves
JD's
the set
helping me.
one time.
We're ready, Zada, don't worry.
Oh, wait, have you learned nothing? You have to make them bring the bathroom to you.
Well, there
Okay,
you go.
this is what
There you go.
We're newbies over
you
here. Right?
should have never left, Dan.
First timers.
Long time, first time.
All right, so
Well, we
there
kept
have
you
it.
we kept you way too long. So thank you for doing this.
No, my pleasure. You know.
On the way out, do me a favor. The lady in pink,
Uh-huh.
you just tap her on the shoulder and she'll come in.
You're getting tapped
I
in.
think she knows.
Tap
Okay.
her in.
All right.
But
Roberto,
thank you
brother.
again
Thank you,
so
my man.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
a
much.
pleasure.
Good stuff, man.
Good to see you.
Good luck.
No, that's not mine.
The hotly contested,
all
bag
you.
of popcorn that. Dan, I don't know that bag of popcorn's been
I'd
as
actually take
trafficked
some.
as
Let
you've
me-
anticipated.
You want some? Yeah, it's kettle corn.
Maybe caramel.
It's really good.
Like Halloween all over again.
Oh no! Now my
Which,
Wi-Fi.
Lindsay,
Your mic.
coming in, you just got in coast to coast, and you've already been a very busy woman. So, Lindsay Zarniak, you guys,
Hi.
again,
Hello.
similar to Griffin, she is a fellow Stake and Stardom owner, again with West Point Thoroughbreds, and we were talking about Sandman's Derby Dream with Griffin
you
and
got
West
a little
Point.
piece of Sandman too.
And
No,
Oh,
but that's
different
okay.
horse.
Nope. But I've been super lucky. Jace's Road was like the first.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God, because ended up running in the Derby, and Parnak was the first horse, and she's going to be sold.
Yeah.
Next week. So this is quite an
way.
adventure, you know.
So you've kind of
The
seen
ups and downs of
multiple
racing.
aspects of it, from the
Yeah.
racing to the sales part of it.
I'm going to eat my feelings.
everything. Yeah.
It's really
I'll take
good.
some.
Parnak.
I'm excited to follow the journey and see like where she ends up, you know. I've made my peace with it. She's a nice horse.
Clearly.
We've had some conversation. No, I do think, look, I love, West Point's been so great. I love them. They're so communicative. I was on 2 calls this week just paying attention to what they were talking about with different horses that they have, and I think it's fascinating. Like, you guys know anyway, you think I'm weird, but like so I just love.
Met. I don't know about that.
I know, that's true. Sorry. But so they do this thing Tuesdays at 2, and I think it's okay for me to share this, but if you're part of their, group, you can get on, and they have different trainers that they're talking to that work with them in the syndicates, and they're talking about all things horses, and it was fascinating because they had Shug McGay, he was on, and it's just, you're talking to him, you're hearing what he's saying about the horses they're working with, and I just think it's fascinating. So it was that, and then they did a handicapping call, and I'm like, this is just amazing, right? Anyway, so Parnak, yes, I'm bummed, but it's okay.
They're the best and the best.
I'll go visit her.
West Point's the best and the best.
It really is a lot more than just an ownership experience. Again, they make it immersive, and especially for people like you that came in and once didn't know much about the sport. Now I feel like you're so highly educated and well connected to so many different people, and you were getting some more of that education earlier today. Can you tell us about that?
You know what? I flew in and it was just, so we had Halloween last night. I flew in this morning. And today I got to the racetrack and just had some meetings and was super excited to just be here and take in this racing. And I think that the one thing that I've seen mostly is that the fashion in the California racing is very different. Don't you think?
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Describe it.
I'm interested because all that guys do, they throw on a suit, and it's like that's the end of the day.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't even do buttons today.
No, but because I did. I came here, I showed up at the track, I got myself situated, had a couple meetings, and then I came out here to try to find you guys, and I'm driving through here, and I'm like, everyone, it's like it's a California vibe. It's very cool, but it's kind of a mix. It's like, right? Cali.
They call this place where the turf meets the surf. So the ocean is just over there. And I feel like that influences the fashion, the vibes at the races. But this is is this your third Breeders' Cup?
Isn't that crazy? It is.
It is.
Yeah, you're talking about that first video when we had her the first time with Flightline.
No, it was in Keeneland.
Oh, yeah.
Flightline
was Keeneland.
And Flightline was amazing because that now that I understand more about it, I can appreciate even more how incredible it was. Do you know what I mean?
You need a claw, by the way.
Here, this is an unopened
Okay.
lime.
Yes.
Do you want
Pass
lime?
me that
Thank
empty.
you, Rach.
Is it empty?
You got natural
That's
lime.
just
You guys are so nice. This is great.
Roberto, who hit every race, surprisingly, it's full.
I'm not talking for them, but it's not a sponsor.
You are sponsored?
No.
Well, you should
I
be
was
sponsored
completely
by White
joking.
Claw.
No, Dan should be sponsored by White Claw.
You should be.
He is single-handedly supporting that business.
No, but seriously, like the whole Flightline thing was incredible. And I think like understanding what was expected of that horse and then seeing what Flightline did, but also because of this and like the working with you guys and also the partnership with West Point, it's weird to me that like last year at the Derby, we were able to go back to Lane's End and there's Flightline, right? Like you're seeing the horse a year later, which is like special in itself. So it's been really cool to watch that journey, but I still am just so blown away by remembering what that was like and watching Flightline during that race and how,
some legends are seriously born at the Breeders' Cup when great expectations are placed. We kind of got to see it a couple races ago with the Fillies, and now we've got the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which this ends up being a showcase of a lot of horses that are going to be on the Derby Trail, and you see the one horse here, East Avenue, continues to be really highly favored. We're 9 minutes away from the race. Dan, I want you to try and help influence Lindsay on who it is that you're rooting for in this race. Kyle, I'll give you the floor in a minute here, too.
I mean, I'm rooting for myself, namely.
Aren't we all as horse players?
So
Cancer McPatrick. I just love that name.
Good name.
It's a great
such
name.
A good
That
name.
is who Roberto, who was just in your hot seat, was backing.
Yeah, and he's been hot. Like I think he's hit every race today, at least the Breeders' Cup races.
He had the 12-1. That's all you needed today, right?
Yeah. But no,
Seriously.
look.
What's the story behind that name? Is it?
I looked it up.
Grey's
It's
Anatomy?
not a mythical character or anything. As far as I can tell, it's a made-up name.
I'm not a Grey's Anatomy guy. Is that a name from Grey's Anatomy?
No, and that was such a. I wish I hadn't said that.
Chancer.
Do you know why I was thinking that?
Patrick Dempsey?
No, McDreamy. I was
Patrick.
thinking some people made a coin a phrase that was. No, I'm sure that's not what it is. It probably is some historical figure that I should know that I don't. But I don't know. Let's
It's
look it
horse
up.
racing. It's okay.
Well, so here's what I have looked up. We've got some fun stats, americasbestracing.net. We've got a bunch of different Breeders' Cup prep pieces. And so for this race in particular, our team wrote up this piece where they included some stats. 10 winners in 25 years in this race have been double-digit odds. 7 of those 10 winners at double-digit odds were in Southern California tracks, so Santa Anita or Del Mar. So when they're run here, they've tended to produce longer shots. So maybe not as good for East Avenue. But the previous 24 winners entered off a top 3 finish, and 16 of the 25 and 10 of the last 14 came to the Juvenile off a win. So basically, horses in really good form tend to do really well here. Obviously, it's kind of logical. And 12 of the last 25 had already won a Grade 1 race. So that means that you want to look for horses like East Avenue. Now, another Grade 1 winner who's sort of been the hype horse to me all week. Everyone's telling me they love this horse. They love the way he's working out and whatever. And he is the one Bob Baffert horse. Well, actually, one of two. So the Bob Baffert horse who's taken the most money is number 7 Gaming, who I originally, based on my handicapping, came up with. But the one Baffert horse that people actually have been telling me I should refocus on is the 6 horse Citizen Bull. The workouts have been insane, and the word around is that he's the one who potentially could fire the biggest shot. He's also the one who doesn't need the lead, and so there are a couple in here who will be close to the pace. They'll be battling a little bit, and Citizen Bull could potentially be one who sits just off of them. And you're getting the better price. The 6 horse Citizen Bull, 13-1 currently, compared to the 7 Gaming, who's 9-2, and then you've got the other Baffert Getaway Car, the 2 horse, at 25-1, who finished second to Citizen Bull in the most recent race.
It's a tough race.
Wow. That is a really tough race.
It really is. Because you have, listen, they're going a mile and a 16th. You have 1, 2, 3, I'm looking at like basically 6 or 7 horses that are pretty much speed horses. You know, they're horses who are going to want to be forwardly placed or at least right off of that lead. So
how about Ferocious then, who clearly wants to probably sit and run down a target?
Well, exactly. The Ferocious, apparently, I don't know. The debut, super impressive. You're throwing up a 96 buyer, but the past 2 follow-ups since then haven't been the best. You're finishing second. You're going a mile and a 16th again. I think you need to be a little bit more forwardly placed, a little bit closer to the front, but you're asking for a lot like a horse like Ferocious when you have horses like East Avenue, who's full send from the start, from the get-go, gets the inside post. I think if you're challenging for the lead, you're basically giving up the race. If you're going to try to get the lead over East Avenue from the outside, you've basically given the race to someone else. So maybe that's where a Baffert horse sets up for one of the other Baffert horses. I don't know. I'm just trying to make a point. That's just how I kind
of
The
voices on his shoulder are talking to him again.
They always are. They always are.
Let me give you. Let me throw one other voice at you. We said long shots can win when Breeders' Cup is running California in this particular race. The 3 horse is 70-1.
Oh my God.
The 3 horse is Hill Road, and someone who I respect greatly when it comes to handicapping 2-year-old races, of course, races based largely when we're making our decisions on pedigree, is Ren Carruthers. And so Ren Carruthers messaged me. She's like, look, this horse probably won't win, but look at the pedigree on this horse. Quality Road, Lemon Drop Kid. There's she let me see, I'll just read the whole breakdown here because she gave me the whole she goes
the Pedigeek.
Goes turf to dirt with plenty of dirt pedigree. Quality Road out of a half sister to City of Light, who won the dirt mile and is also the sire of Fierceness. So these are dirt horses, and this is a horse who to date has only run on the turf. So look, these people aren't
in Ireland, in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, you ship the horse here to run for a reason. This horse should not be 70-1. Is this horse going to win? I have no idea.
So why is it 70-1?
Just because
I think you see a lot of people like me who are looking at the horse and are like, toss.
And they also, and most people are going to assume that this is a race that only an American horse can win because, the 2-year-old dirt horses are kind of prepared in a way where this is where they need to be good. Then they need to be good going into, early in the 3-year-old season where they make the Derby and the Triple Crown Trail. Whereas over there, the 2-year-old dirt horses start a little slower. And generally, look, we have better dirt horses. They have better turf horses. That's the bottom line. So, I don't know. I'm going to include that horse in my picks because if I don't, I was reading this Matt Miller book on the flight here, and it was like basically figure out, he referenced another author who said figure out the bet that would make you lose sleep at the end of the day if it came and you didn't have it. So for me, the bet that would make me lose sleep is if this horse, the 3 that Ren
At
mentioned.
70 to 1.
That Ren took the time to text
This
me.
is what's going to make you lose sleep?
Yeah.
You know which one made me lose sleep? Do you remember the NHC when you told me to bet on something?
Oh, God.
Remember that?
Oh, no.
The NHC?
No, well, I wasn't in the NHC.
like, wait, what?
I was
She was trying
covering
to get
it.
a seat.
She was in the last
trying to
chance
get a seat.
tournament.
It's the last chance. I would gladly
She's
go do
won
it
the
again,
NHC
by
the
the way,
last
if you're
5
looking
years.
for someone to do it again. And then I talked to Big Game. I was like, I'm going to do it this year. No, I haven't touched it. But I really loved it. It was like so cool. I loved learning about it. And yeah, and there was, I forget what the specifics were, but I had a feeling about one horse. And Dan was like, well, I wouldn't do that. And I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then
And
I
what do you
should have
think
done that.
Dan,
I know.
I'll shut up.
But it
Your
was a
thoughts to
great,
yourself?
it was a great lesson. But how fun was that?
That's awesome.
I mean, those were like, yes, it was the coolest thing.
To throw out the longer shots, and a fellow tournament player, an NHC finisher, when Alexa Zepp was on the show earlier, she mentioned the 8 horse, Shin Believe.
True.
She didn't tell us why. Again, this is another horse.
She just mentioned the horse and left.
Yeah, she said, that's my,
all I
bomb
got.
at the end.
I mean, I will say, if you're making the argument of why are they throwing this horse into or bringing him to the States, the horse won one time after being bought for $800,000 in the state, won one time in Japan, and is getting sent here. So yeah, maybe they have a little bit of hope. Shin Believe, we're gonna believe in this horse.
Believe, and again,
you're putting them against some tough competition.
Yeah,
it is, and it circles back to again the Japanese trying to really tap into being a part of the Kentucky Derby. So this is all part of, a plan to get there. Who knows if this is the end all be all or just a step in that process for them, bringing this horse over and seeing how he does in the States. But again, I still personally really like the 10, Chancer McPatrick. This horse is a closer. I believe that this track usually favors a bit more of the speed.
For sure, but you never know, especially when you have all the horses with speed are kind of on the inside. So when you get those horses with speed and they're all kind of dueling each other, it usually sets up for a horse like Chancer McPatrick.
I like Chancer too. Chancer's my pick.
3 to 1. The horses are going into the gate.
Did you tell Lindsay she's calling this race?
Yeah, Lindsay, you're you're calling this race, so you're gonna have to watch it.
Open it up,
and
race 9.
I'll
Make
try
the call.
to lay it. No, you got it. Come on.
All right, how about this? You have
You
popcorn.
do it. I'll do color. I'll do
All right,
popcorn
fine.
color.
And you get a
All right,
listen.
well, I'll give you the winning pick right now. East
I said that
Avenue,
part.
I will say the 8 to 5. I honestly, this is going to sound opposite. I wish it was a little lower. I wish it was more like 6 to 5 or even money would give me a little bit more confidence. That being said, I still think East Avenue wins. I do think Chancer McPatrick comes up, closes, passes Ferocious, that horse that's going in the gate now. So give me.
I want to say this. I did make a late bet, but go ahead.
110 over 4-5 for the trifecta.
Okay, so
pretty much straight.
You kind of had a similar thought. I also did a try key box with the 4 Ferocious. I think Ferocious hits the board.
All right, let's get it. Here we go. They are about all in line. Number 10 is getting into the gate. Larry Colmus is making the call, and they are off. Looks like the 2 gets out in front quick. That is Getaway
East
Car.
Avenue broke last.
The Baffert horse.
Second to
East
last.
Avenue breaks last. Citizen Bull, another Baffert horse, gets the rail, gets the lead. To his outside is the other Baffert horse, number 7, Gaming at 5 to 1. So it is the 2 Bafferts, Citizen Bull and Gaming in 1-2. Right behind them on the inside rail is number 2, Getaway Car at 33 to 1. 33 to 1. Right behind them on the inside rail is the 5,
Citizen Bull.
Jonathan's Way for Phil Bauer. To his outside is the 9 at 99 to 1. Ekoro Azel. Big price there for the Japanese. Behind them is the 4 and the 8. Making a little bit of a move right now is Shin Believe, another one of the Japanese horses at $800,000 purchase. 1 for 1. All the way in the back is number 3, Hill Road. Separated about 7 lengths between the leader. The 6, the 7, the 9, and the 2 are the front runners right now, and the 6 is sitting chilly. 47 and 4 for the half mile. Still in the head by a lead. Citizen Bull, the Baffert horse, they're sitting 1-2. Behind them, big price, 90 to 1, 99 to 1. Ekoro Zulo, the 2 is sitting on the rail. To their outside is the 8, Shin Believe. The
Dan's about to stand
Constitution Japanese horse is trying to make a move. They're separated by about 10 lengths now, but it
Baffert's
really
1,
is
2, 3
the
right now.
only Baffert horses.
my God.
1, 2,
6, 7.
3,
Come on, 6, 7.
7.
Come on,
2.
6, 7.
Which Baffert Baffert
Come on, 6-7.
Will it be? It
I'll
might
take 6-7.
be all
Come on,
three.
6-7.
Right now, Citizen
Come on,
Bull, the
6-7.
talk of the
I'll take
town
it.
at
I'll take
15
it.
to 1.
I'll take it. I'll
Dan
take
will
it.
take it.
I'll take
Dan
it.
will take it.
I'll take it.
Baffert,
Bring the three to
one,
third. Bring the three to
two,
third. Bring the three to third. Bring the three to third.
Yeah! Yes! Woo!
Wow.
Yeah! Yeah! What do you
Yes. Okay.
Holy shit, dude! Wait, holy shit, dude! No one's talking about this. No one's talking about this. He hit the try. It's a 15 to 1 over, a 7 to 1 over. A wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. 60 to 1 horse in third.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What?
Was that Ren's horse?
Ren, I love you.
Oh my god, you just did the perfect like sell of that story and then it delivered. And then that was like
unbelievable.
If you hadn't done
All right,
that.
I'm gonna put her on speaker now.
Oh my god. If you had not done
Hold on.
What just happened?
Oh my god. Hill Road.
Oh,
Hill Road. That's amazing.
I was so excited for Baffert to go 1, 2, 3, and then I hear, "Where's the 3? Where's the 3?" Oh my god!
And this
Ren,
Yes.
you're live with us on the air.
Oh my gosh, I can't hear you. Hold on a second. Let me.
Ren,
Yes.
you remember you told me about Hill Road?
Yeah, do it better.
Dude! I hit the try.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, downtown Bay. All right.
Oh my God, Ren,
You owe
what?
me something of some kind. I don't know what yet. It doesn't
Oh,
have to be monetary.
I
How
owe
about a
you.
hug?
I owe you my life. What do you need?
No, dude, I'm so sad about East Avenue though. That start just jacked the whole thing up.
Look at her, still doing analysis.
I love it.
This moment.
I love it. My kind of woman.
I know, that's my boy. But I told you, man, good pedigree, quality road, out of the half sister to City of
Good job,
Light,
kid.
who's by quality road, and then Sire Fierceness.
I literally, I assume you're not watching our show right now, but I literally,
In and out.
in and out. I literally just told him, I was like, Ren gave me I read the exact analysis you texted me. I'm like, this horse at 60 to 1, Ren thinks this horse will hit the board, and so that's why I included, and the try came.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no,
so I get
absolutely
flipped off,
bonkers.
So I get like even more cred, right, to the people who maybe didn't see it, right?
Yes, dude, where are you?
He's been name dropping you. Yeah.
Come on, get over here.
Yeah, I wish.
All right, what if this? Do you think I've won enough to fly you in overnight?
Yeah, right. No,
How many bucks did you put on it?
It's only $1 try, sadly. It's $1 try, but
Really?
it's 15 to 1 over 6 to 1 over 60 to 1 with no East Avenue.
Gosh.
Holy shit.
Yay. That's incredible.
nuts.
Dan, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you,
I'm glad
Ren.
I could have played any part in that, and I hope you tell me that like you would have never used that horse.
Oh, I would have never used that horse. All right, Ren.
All right.
All right, I'll see
Enjoy,
you.
you guys. Enjoy. Have fun.
Oh, wait. Who do you like in the last? Who do you like in the last?
That one's so good. That one's so hard for me. It is, because like I love Oisin Murphy, so of course I would root for New Century. I think Henri Matisse could like come back again.
Okay.
And I also think Chad Brown's getting overlooked in Zulu Kingdom. So I don't know. It's a tough one.
Seagull's 11. I owe you. So Seagull's 11, the 7 horse. That's the play.
Okay.
Trust me. All right, we'll talk.
Okay.
Hey, Ava, bye.
That was so wild.
That was.
Yeah, that's in lifetime. Lindsay was just posted up eating popcorn,
Like,
watching
I'm glad I got that whole thing on video.
yeah, they didn't pan
shit,
the camera
dude.
fast enough, but Dan actually did a backflip, a full tuck. It was clean.
Look
it
at
was
this
clean.
situation.
Also-
JD's gonna kill me when he sees this, by the
Also,
way.
I love.
I've got White Claw over every piece of electronics here.
Dan immediately asking, so Ren, what do you like in the last, actually? That's a horse player. That's
While I've
one of
got
us
you.
right there.
While I've got you, I think I lost audio again. I don't know.
my
Can
God.
you still hear stuff?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
yeah, I'm just, I don't know.
it's
It just
the
might be in my
wireless
brain.
I
signal.
also enjoy that, the silks and the
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's some graphics
that's
right
like
there.
an
That's
astral
fake.
projection.
Are you sure? Because I thought I could see it from
I'm
up there.
positive that's fake.
I also told
Unfortunately.
Didn't I see it from up there? Or am I
This
just
White Claw is hitting Lindsay real good. No, the dirt surface. They've projected the winning silks down onto the
right.
track.
No, that must have been a TV I was watching again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You guys, I've been up for a very long time.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
We're all locked in. So you also remember I told you the buzz horse was this horse, was
Can we take a
Citizen
timeout?
Bull.
Can we take a timeout and look at what your trifecta just paid?
Oh, I didn't see what it paid. What is it?
I don't know. Come on, someone.
Should I hit
bring it up.
refresh? I was at like 200.
Hit the refresh because it was a 15-1 over.
Ooh, it's not bad
for a buck. How much?
3,000.
Holy shit! Dude.
What?
Yeah.
$3,206.36.
Well, I had the 200 in already. The
Oh my
3,000.
God.
It's just it may have paid like 29 and change.
$3,000 off of
Okay,
a $1
so whatever I'm
bet.
doing for this last race.
Are you
Damn,
insane?
what you doing here?
Well, I mean, that was the race where I had the good intel. I had Citizen Bull. I told you that's the Baffert that everyone liked. And then, look, did I know East Avenue was going to break last? No.
No,
I mean,
and that was the big difference maker in the race, right?
Sorry about spilling everything here.
But also, the Baffert horses all just ran incredible.
Even the two
They
ran
really
massive.
did.
Yeah. Even the two get with a getaway car. So,
and a lot of the times it's like, oh, you think maybe they're not going to be kind of pressing each other.
Yeah.
They were kind of pressing each other. It didn't matter in the end. Didn't it?
No, I don't hear anything, but it's fine.
I have a question.
Is it me? Did I step on something?
No, you're good.
I don't
going in and out.
That I dropped into
I
the,
don't want to take this away from the racing, but I do have
Oh,
a
I got
question
you now.
because my brother's coming in. I'm very excited. He's never been to a race. He's coming in tonight, but I've never been here. So, like, how do you do the race experience from your perspective here at Del Mar?
At Del Mar.
yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Actually,
this
a
is
good question.
This is my
This is really
first
good.
time
It is?
at Del Mar.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Wait, did I say it wrong? It's Del Mar.
No, you do it.
So
Were those
I would defer to these two of how to really drink it in. But I mean, it's also Breeders' Cup.
Where are you
so
from originally?
Virginia, live in
All
Connecticut
right,
now.
yeah. So California, I'm a New York guy, so I'm not really going to help
he's
you
a
out here.
Saratoga resident.
Okay.
No, there's those
in the-
restaurants that are right on the water. What are they called? I don't know the names of them. Like Le Berge. Oh, Le Berge.
That's it.
It's
That's
like
what they call
French.
Yeah. Abiento. Exactly.
Abiento, yeah, just like that.
We're giving you terrible advice.
But as far as being at the races,
yeah.
my advice, doesn't matter what racetrack it's hosted at, for any big race day, especially Breeders' Cup, go out and walk around in the crowd. See who you see, wander around outside the paddock, because it really is an international melting pot. There's people from everywhere. You're going to hear Irish accents, Australian accents, and you really don't get that at the Kentucky Derby or any of the Triple Crown races. This is a place where you can meet people from all over the world. It's really cool. And you're going to run into familiar faces that you've seen because, again, this is such a racing weekend that's focused on people that are really into the sport. So, for example, walking around outside the paddock earlier today, ran into your friend Jason Worth.
Yes.
And so he's out here earlier today. You just run into people everywhere. So go float around, obviously sit, enjoy your seats, enjoy the racing. But I think that it's the people that come to this event that's what really makes it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're going to have a good time. Well, we're looking forward to welcoming you back out again tomorrow with your brother.
Yes. Thank you. I'm
Enjoy.
excited. I know. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Don't
You
spend
too.
it all in one place.
I was going to say, I'll be using his $3,000.
I'll come find you.
I feel
Text
like
me where y'all are.
I literally should fly run in for this. So, all right. So, are you heading back to Greb the rest of the day in your seats?
Yep. I'm
Okay,
gonna
cool.
take it in. Gonna go say hey, see some people. I did when I came in.
Do
Actually,
you need your ticket? Do you want to? We may as well just give her a ticket for tomorrow.
Isabella had.
Well, no, you gave me my ticket, and then I went to see
No, the one for
Christine
tomorrow.
Moore, and then
Oh, I've
Christine
got-
Moore took my ticket
Christine
for today
took her
accidentally.
ticket.
So now, she's not using it, but there was I think
She just
she
wanted to
has
show it
still.
off to people. I've got Lindsay's ticket. Here it is.
I have
Yeah,
your
ticket for
tickets
tomorrow.
so I'm going to give those.
She's like, oh, yeah.
to,
She's like, oh, thank you.
I'm sure I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm
Actually-
super excited though. So I can't wait. I'm gonna come hang with you guys.
It
And,
doesn't get much better than this.
Ladies.
This is
That's
awesome.
all
Hey,
I'll
look,
say.
we're going to also let you enjoy the rest of the day from over there as a fan, as a spectator. But you're going to be back tomorrow, which we're excited about. You were awesome.
Damn
Thank you,
right.
brother.
Who do you guys have in the classic?
Oh, you got to tune in tomorrow to find out.
Ooh, I was going to say, you got to tune in tomorrow to
Actually,
find out.
giving mine up. I'm Ushpa Tesoro, so Ushpa Tesoro. And by the way, there's Danielle. You can say hey to her as you're headed out. Danielle from West Point.
Excellent.
All right, I'm going to play a quick little video for everyone as we do a little set change here. This is going to be Brittany Russell, who has a horse running tomorrow. Last race on Breeders' Cup weekend tomorrow will be the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Brittany Russell has post time in it. We caught up with her earlier.
There's a lot of, excitement, a little bit of anxiety. But overall, we're just excited. We're excited to walk him over there and see how he goes. So far, it's a pretty amazing experience. I mean, just to get a horse here is a really big deal. So, we're trying to enjoy the ride and, enjoy being here and, hoping for a good result on Saturday. It's pretty special to have, not only be, from Maryland and that be kind of our home base, but to have a Maryland bred in post time, representing. I think he has a pretty big following back home, and, we're just trying to keep the dream alive for everybody back home. It's a big deal, and we're proud to be here.
Yeah, it's been a great journey so far. I'm incredibly proud of Brittany and all the achievements she's achieved in such a short run. Look, we're here at the Breeders' Cup with a pretty legit chance. So hopefully all goes well, and come Saturday he runs the best race of his life.
Post time is going to be running tomorrow, but we still have so many Breeders' Cup races. Like, I'm on a high. Alexa, I don't know if you were here for my celebration.
I watched.
Now, get your microphone instead of just a flower.
Sorry.
What's up with that flower? Is that from the winner? Is that
Honestly, I've been running around and I saw it and I picked it up and I thought I'd bring it to y'all, but you already got $3,000.
So we don't. Yeah. It was a thrill. I mean, that was definitely fun. Yeah.
I'll say, good job. Congrats.
I was surprised Citizen Bull was a little bit of a buzz horse, and for a buzz horse to still go off at that price.
I need another.
So here's the deal. The last one remaining is one that I knocked over and that has a hole in it. So it's only half full.
Wait, and it's leaking.
Oh, no.
I don't know where the hole is.
It's on the down.
Do you want to try it? Just go for it.
Yep, we're good.
You're good. All right. Let me bring this guy in real quick. Rob Conway's going to come in for a minute. Rob.
Hi, Rob.
So Rob joins us from a faraway land known as Canada. Not as bad as
not that far away.
Yeah. Earlier I said, "Hey, come on in. Don't hit and run. Come over here. Come over here. A little drive by. Get over here." He's going to the bathroom now. Yeah, I mean, you stop in, you better stay. How, Rob from Railbirds?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. How has your day been? How many Breeders' Cups have you been to?
This is my first.
Your what?
No way.
Yeah.
Welcome. How is
Thank
it?
you. It was well. I just had Citizen Bull and the Exacta, and I'm alive in the double. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So
okay. How come I didn't
Feeling
hear
it.
you screaming? Because I was screaming my ass
I was
off.
smacking the thing off of my backside like Kramer from Seinfeld at the top of the stretch. So it was great. It was great.
Your program, it looks relatively intact for taking
Kind
a
of.
beating.
It was, yeah, not bad.
Is that a celebratory Stella?
Yes.
All
Cheers
right.
to everybody.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry. Sorry, Alexa.
Here, give me the flower.
Ting ting. Uh-huh.
How about you? You're out too?
Yeah.
God.
Who was in charge of the drinks?
Dan.
Dan, you can buy us some serious drinks
Well, the
now
thing
with
is,
that trifecta hit.
I bought a 12
trifecta.
I hit the trifecta.
For $3,000.
For $3,000?
Yes.
But I'm not alive in the double.
Oh, whatever.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Who are you live to in the double?
1 in 10.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. So the Breeders'
Sure.
Cup Juvenile Turf's up next, 24 minutes. Satono Carnival is probably the second most hyped horse I've heard, buzz horse this weekend, other than the horse who just won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah.
A lot of buzz around this horse, but he's still 9-1 off a 15-1 morning line. The one horse.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a big price for horses never lost, and so I threw him in there. And I don't know, I like the 10. What is it? Was it 8-1 now?
Mm-hmm.
15-1 morning
Off 12
line.
Yeah. Yep.
And 12 to 1 here, yeah. 15
Have you
to 1
looked at
in
your
the
payouts? Do you want me to tell you what your will pays are going to be?
No, my will pays? No. Yeah, you can. Yeah, no, I haven't looked
Figure
at
that
them.
out.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
tell you that.
To the 1 and the who?
The 10.
Oh, Mentee. I like.
What do you got for $1,
Mentee.
$2, $3?
$5.
$5 bucks?
$5.
All right, this guy's going to get paid. All right. Let's see. Race 10, will pays, and you were alive to the 1 and the 10?
Correct.
Oh, dude, you're alive to some nice payouts. All right, so your payout to the 1 is, doing quick math, 460 plus 170. 460 plus 110 is how much? Like 575. Yeah,
I'm the wrong.
Okay.
575 to the 1 and to the 10. Oh, the 10's actually paying more. How about that?
There you
10's
go.
paying more.
Okay.
The 10 is paying 560 plus 140. Was that 700?
Don't say this too loud. My friend
700.
Nathan, who I'm
Yeah,
here
yeah.
with, will be hearing all this going, it sounds like dinner's on you.
So Total Carnival, I thought was like a wild card in this race. I
Yeah.
thought you could totally use it from a pedigree standpoint. Obviously unbeaten, but I like Mentee, so I'm glad that payout is better. But that's weird because the odds. Oh wow, the 1 is 8 to 1.
Yeah, one's going.
Oh, more line.
One's taking more money. More money.
Very, very interesting.
Certain somebody told me that Siegel's 11 was a possible winner. He's sitting at the
Would
end-
that have
he's
been
sitting at the other
Dan?
end of the table. We figured out what team that represented in Brighton Hove Albion.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's
so
right.
so that's the story.
Yeah.
Seagulls 11. It's 11 soccer players from England who got together and bought this horse. And the thing with this horse is he finished behind Henry Matisse, the 13 horse, is currently 5 to 1. Henry Matisse would probably be the favorite, the clear-cut favorite in this race, had he not drawn the 13 post, which is not ideal going a mile at Del Mar on the turf. So the horse who finished just behind Henry Matisse, when Henry Matisse is 5 to 1, what is Seagulls 11?
Yeah.
21 to 1. I've got even more information that will make you like Seagulls 11. His only race over totally firm ground, which is what this is here. No rain, the ground is rock hard, was his best race to date. He won a novice stakes in England, and then again, he came back and finished just behind Henry Matisse in a Group 1 in England. So 21 to 1 on Seagulls 11. Look, I mean, I don't know, maybe he ran the race of his life to finish second to Henry Matisse and can't do it again, but if he runs that same race and Henry Matisse has trip trouble, why can't Seagulls 11 finish first or second at 21 to 1?
I can't disagree. I mean, it makes sense, and yeah, the outside posts have been real tough, all year really here at Del Mar. So you have to be much the best from that spot, and you're still getting 5 to 1 right now on Henry Matisse, which is really built into the fact of they're in the 12 hole, I guess, because there's a stretch.
I think he'd be shorter. And then the favorite right now currently is the 5 Zulu Kingdom, 7 to 2. Chad Brown, Madikit Stables, sort of big names in the turf world in U.S. horse racing. So and look, Zulu Kingdom, I to me when I was handicapping this race was my pick, and then I just kind of kept thinking about Seagulls 11. I knew I'd get a better price, so I'm like 5-7 in this race. So
I'm a totally different.
Let's hear it.
I really like Alcudra.
Okay, I like that.
All over Alcudra. So Alcudra New Century, who's the 11 in here, I've just been duking it out the last few starts, and I know I didn't bring this up ahead of time, so we might not have that replay, but they were really bumping down the stretch and a really, really wide trip down the stretch, and Alcudra just looked like so good in that race, so good in that race. And I thought Alcudra would be the favorite, to be completely honest. I'm loving this 5 to 1. I know Maureen line was 4 to 1. I thought it would go off probably 3 to 1 or probably. I don't think we're going to have a super heavy favorite in here. But Alcudra and New Century, the 11, I really like both of those. I think we've seen it from them already. Mentee, who you're live to, is another choice of mine in here, which is the 10 horse. And Mentee is really interesting. I think he's going to press the pace. And in the futurity that he won, he just kind of let loose in the stretch, press the pace and just absolutely let loose in the stretch. And I think he clearly had more. If you watch him on the gallop out, just had more horse and, one on the grass, one on the dirt. I like a versatile horse in these competitive races. So those are my kind of selections very different from you.
That race up.
No, I mean, like, I've got
seeing it very differently.
I've got Alcudra in the mix without a doubt. I'm definitely into Alcudra. I didn't have Mentee. I just had to draw a line somewhere, and I kind of essentially put a line through the horses 10 and outward, with the exception of New Century, who, if I like Alcudra, I've got to like New Century a little bit, so I kind of I put the 11 in the mix.
But I do think Alcudra is better based on that replay.
I think Alcudra's a better horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Beat New Century a few races ago, and I mean that was up at my stomping grounds in Woodbine, and yeah, it was quite an interesting stretch drive in that race, and I think Alcudra had lots of horse left before really had to throw the brakes on, and New Century at 5-2. I was actually surprised that it was kind of the morning line favorite.
Is New Century the morning line favorite?
Yeah.
5-2,
right?
I
didn't. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't have odds printed on my PPs.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
5-2. The second was Alcudra at 4-1.
Yeah.
Followed by, let me see here, Henry Matisse at 6-1. So those were the morning line.
Yeah, lots of
odds.
money coming in on Zulu Kingdom for that to be the favorite right now.
Yeah, I am surprised. I personally did not. I passed Zulu Kingdom completely. I didn't even say maybe. I just put a pass on that horse. So definitely a different opinion there.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, look, I don't know. You've got the race 2 back over firm ground was really good, and then obviously one last out as well over soft ground. I didn't think the horse looked as good last out, but I think the horse will like this turf course, and you never know. Look, these are
We've obviously got to root for Dream On.
Yeah, no, Dream On would be great. Is Dream On this hat?
It's yours.
Oh no, we switched during the show. Yeah. Oh, it's that one now. Yeah, there you go. We switched for a reason. I forget why. So.
All right. Well, I still want my Vixen cat.
Rob, real quick, we have a couple of guests waiting on deck.
Sure,
We want to get
100%.
them on, but before we do, I want you to talk a little bit about Railbirds and what you guys are up to.
Yeah, we're down here covering the Breeders' Cup, but we're just trying to kind of bridge that gap of your hardcore horse racing people and a little bit more of the casuals. We were talking about Getaway Car and a certain Taylor Swift song, and she has a horse named after her that's bought by Travis Kelce up at Woodbine, stuff like that, and just exposing
Swift delivery.
It hasn't been a Swift the last few years, but nonetheless, just stuff like that. Just trying to get people to understand how. I mean, you see stuff like the Breeders' Cup or up where we are at the King's Plate and how awesome those events are, but there's horse races on all the time, and it's a fun sport. It's a great sport to be watching. So we're just trying to get people in the door more of a casual way, and then see if they like it.
No doubt. And like you make the point about how much fun it is, and if you like sports, I could play, from now until the end of time, $1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leg parlay. If I want to win $3,000 doing parlays for $1, I could play them over and over again for years and never hit a parlay that's going to pay me $3,000 for $1. I just hit one here.
Yeah.
You're alive to 700 to 1 or 700 to, well, what is that? Whatever the math, 150 to 1, right?
Yeah.
On picking a 2-leg parlay, getting paid 150 to 1
Absolutely.
on 2 horses that are not impossible to come across.
And horses and an outcome that's going to be done in half an hour. It's not like I'm picking the winner of the NBA championship and the NHL championship, like a year in advance and have to wait. Like it'll be done in 15 minutes. We're gonna find out.
I like racing because it's good for people with a short attention span. So
Yeah.
we're all on the same page. But thank you so much again for the time stopping in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We'll see all you guys tomorrow.
That sounds good. And with your money, I want to remind people, Old Smoke, right now, you can get 15% off everything at oldsmokeclothing.com. Old Smoke never runs promotions like this. They're doing it just for us. Breeders' Cup Weekend, ABR. Use that promo card. Code, whichever one. If you have a card, use it too. It's ABR 15 Old Smoke, ABR 15 Old Smoke for a discount special for Breeders' Cup Weekend. Old Smoke, partner of the Breeders' Cup as well, or at least they're available in the Breeders' Cup shop. So I don't want to misspeak. The person now on the set can confirm either way because she knows everything there is to know about the Breeders' Cup. It's Haley Amos.
I do my best. I try. I don't know if I know everything,
Just about the director of social media and content here at the Breeders' Cup. Haley, how's your day going?
It's been going. I mean, I have been out here for about 2 weeks, and so today is just business as usual. I think we've got a wonderful team that I work with, and like I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. So we've been on the backside every morning. We've been on the front side in the afternoons, covering all the festival events and everything. And it's just we really want the people who aren't able to come to the Breeders' Cup to feel like they're still experiencing it through our social media channels. So hopefully that's the feedback we receive.
No, seriously, you guys crush it with all of the content. Haley is back there getting the tea of this series, What's the Hay? That's one of my favorite installments of the Breeders' Cup. So rapid fire, I guess, which of the horses have gotten the most media attention, either from the social media crew or media as a whole?
So I'm going to give you two. Obviously, Forever Young, the international horse, everyone really wants to see him, is excited to see his return to the States. So that one's just getting that natural media attention. But for the social media team, we've fallen in love with Post Time. He is the quirkiest
we just
horse.
showed a video of Post Time.
Yes, he's so funny. I mean, I had this vision for this TikTok I wanted to do, and I went on the backside and I was like, I don't know who will do this. And I saw him and he was rolling. And I was like, done, sold. Thinking he's going to do it. And after that, he just has this personality when you see him on the track. He knows he's cool. It's so fun to watch. So.
No, he does have a really big personality, and it is the kind of horse that you need as a social media star. And even when his exercise rider is on, you know, he's doing things. I was taking a video of him because I thought, oh, this is a sweet moment of, you know, a rider coming down and petting the horse's neck. And it was about 10 seconds into taking the video, I realized that he had grabbed a hold of his martingale, which is the leather that goes around your neck. And he was just holding on to it like it was a toy. And she was trying to get it out of his mouth. And she's like, honey, you know, like nothing that he does is mean-spirited. He's just like a fun, quirky horse. Great for content.
I had walked by at some point another morning, and he's just sitting there with her staring at the stall, and I was like, what are y'all doing? And she's like, he does this sometimes. He's just thinking about going in, but he'll go in when he's ready. I was like, okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know he was like that exactly.
He's a ham. So we love that.
And I mean, what makes Breeders' Cup so cool, I keep saying it, is the international aspect. Were there any people, be it trainers or jockeys, that came in that you guys were super excited to
Well,
talk
I mean,
to?
you know that you can't miss Aiden's Army on the track. It's such an imposing scene. It was so funny because we posted one where every single person on the social media team had a different angle of Aiden's Army. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to turn into something because it's just a cool shot, and it's just, it's not something we see often in the States, or never really, except for at Breeders' Cup. So it's just a really cool experience, and to see it in person is really neat.
Yeah, you guys probably didn't even have to coordinate that. It's just one of those that when that formation comes out on the track, earlier nod to, I referenced it as the Tri-Wizard, not Tri-Wizard tournament, as the Quidditch World Cup.
Yes.
That formation.
Tri-Wizard. That too.
You know what I'm talking about, where it's just like a perfect, like... Or you guys get what I'm saying. Okay?
By the way, have you done the straight show? You haven't gotten up, have you?
Yeah, no. I'm a warrior. That's why I only had one White Claw.
Have you not gone to the bathroom either? Nothing?
No. She is a warrior, 100%.
3 hours? You've been here in this spot?
The things that we do on these big race weekends. Haley is always one of these people, too, that despite being everywhere on the grounds, always will have a pair of heels on without fail.
That's
absolutely.
I'm like, how many miles a day have you been putting in?
What do you
think it'll be today?
Pull out the phone.
It's a low, as I say, it's a low day when it's under 10,000. I can definitely tell you that. So let me see. Well, no,
10,000 miles.
Oh, you know that song, I Will Walk. Anyway, actually, it's a low day. I'm at 10,200 steps, which is not miles. That's about 5-ish miles. I'm not sure. 2,500 steps, I think, is a mile. So
see, this is just what we do as women in racing.
Yes,
no,
always
I bring
in
a
heels,
pair
though.
of tennis shoes. I put heels on out there, and then whenever I had to run over here, I put the tennis shoes on.
Well,
it's incredible.
My first year doing Breeders' Cup, like, oh, you're in heels. That'll change. No, it doesn't. I've got a good brand. It's called Lifestride, and I always wear them every year. So you'll see Band-Aids on my toes, but it's I'm in the heels.
They got to sponsor you. you, honestly.
For real.
At this point.
You heard it here first, Life Stride.
So, is there any upcoming stuff, I guess, tomorrow at Breeders' Cup for attendees or fans that are watching at home to keep in mind? Is there any?
Well, I mean, tomorrow is Championship Saturday, so you're going to see a lot of exciting horses running. Obviously, Torpedo Anna in the distaff, that's one we're all very excited to see. She nearly took it to them in Saratoga to the boys, and that was cool. Brought back some reminiscence of Zenyatta. So I'm excited to see her run.
And she's like the closest thing we have to a super, like a bona fide superstar that we could say is kind of transcends a little bit, right? That she kind of breaks through.
Absolutely. I mean, I think she's got fans that, extend a little bit further than your average horse racing fan. And I think that's what gets people invested in horse racing. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, and go ahead. You mentioned some other big story. Obviously, the classic field is insane, right?
It's incredible.
I mean, it's so good.
We're excited to see Fierceness. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year, so we always have a special place in our heart for Breeders' Cup alumni and Breeders' Cup champions. So to see him running in the classic, it would be great to see him pull off a win 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Now, in addition to, Haley knowing all things Breeders' Cup, you're in the barns so much, and you know a lot of trainers, a lot of people that are working hands-on with the horses. We're 7 minutes away from the Juvenile Turf. Is there any hot tips or insider scoops?
Hot tips. Okay, let me think. I can't give away all my secrets, but I did get a chance to chat with Rachel King. She's the jockey on, actually in this race, Satona Carnival, I think.
And taking money at 9-1 off that 20-1 morning line.
Alexa's not.
Well, and it's just, she's impressive at the fact that she chose to come to the Breeders' Cup versus where she's based out of. It's exciting to have her here. I got to chat with her. We did a what's the hay on that, so I got all the hay. And I'm excited to see her perform her ride today in the race and see what happens.
More breaking news. We've broken lots of news here today, most of it completely insignificant. But this piece of news is important, and that is that Rachel King will be joining us live at the top of our show tomorrow. So
awesome.
Maybe it'll be a sort of winning, post-race
Celebration?
celebratory interview, or, maybe she could tell us about,
what it was like.
How much she hated losing.
Look, and my dad is a true Ricky Bobby guy. If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
We live by those words.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she's, at least like you said, I think she has done a great job of making herself available this week and really growing her own sort of her star status in this sport globally by being everywhere this week. So she's been wonderful.
Yes, she's a great ambassador for the sport, and we're happy to have her here.
That's awesome. All right, look, there's a couple of minutes left to race 10, which is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. We're going to let you get back to work because I know you probably still have way more to do.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me. I'm going to go sprint my way back to the other side. So.
All right. Haley Amos, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. And this is going to sound, I'm going to sound like so old, but I've seen you grow. You were I remember you,
I'm going to say you heard it here first. Dan helped me start my first social media in the horse racing career, and we did the Serengeti series.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly.
So I was with you guys, so y'all have a special place in my heart too. So
best. You're the best. All right.
All right.
Good luck the rest of the day tomorrow.
Haley. Everything looks great.
I appreciate
it. Thanks, Haley. All right. Haley Amos there with the Breeders' Cup. All right, so 5 minutes to post. Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Alexa.
You're putting in some bets.
Oh, you're putting in bets. All right, so Alexa's distracted. Danielle, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, I know you're early. Oh, you want to wait? Oh, you can wait. Yeah, it's all right.
You
wait.
can sit in the golf cart, though. You don't have to stand in your heels.
Yeah, sit in the golf cart. You got. Yeah.
Chill. You're
Unless
good.
you want to come call this race because we need a race caller.
Which, Alexa, it was actually bonkers. Kyle, he must practice that.
He's good. He can call a race. The man can call a race.
I've heard it. I know.
He was quoting sale prices in the middle of his race calls.
He really was. He's like, this horse sold for $800,000. He's moving up the rail. It was impressive.
Okay, I'll let you get into it.
It's tough to follow.
Boys, where are we eating tonight? Oh, I know. I know. That's why I asked. Danielle, if you're just joining, we got lucky in the last race.
Dan,
Dan got $3,000 left.
It was like on a dollar trifecta, yeah.
A dollar trifecta
that
had a 70 to 1.
Well, and the 70 to 1. So I will say 71 credit Ren Carruthers for mentioning that horse to me. And then also Citizen Bull, my man Bill Starkey. I doubt he's watching because he's too cool for this. But Bill, yeah. Oh, my God, Rachel. So many tears. So many tears today.
It's been emotional. I'm getting emotional. It's Breeders' Cup.
We're gonna have to take you somewhere. What did he say?
He said she's cutting to shine.
Oh, yeah.
Which
there you go.
is
Little shout out.
Oh my God.
Cutting to shine. Oh, who's going to be cutting to shine in this race, y'all?
All right. Well, I already
gotta finish
mentioned
strong.
my favorite in here.
What are your bets?
Okay, I played a 4.
Like, just read them off to us, like live. Just read them off. Just read every bet off to us.
Okay.
Those aren't your bets. Those are your bets on your
I
phone.
know what I put in. I don't need to read them. You know, your bets are so crazy. You gotta read them.
I got.
Now and then they pay off.
Red for Phil. Oh,
All
God.
right, no dinner for you. She's not coming. She's not coming.
Fired. Okay, I played a 4 over 10-11 exacta, and I also played a 10-4 exacta.
Okay, so 4 is Alcudra.
Alcudra over New Century and Mentee, and then I put Mentee over Alcudra as well.
Okay, you don't think New Century can win this race? You don't have New Century?
I do. I just prefer Alcudra, and I didn't want to box it because of the odds of the 3 horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, I feel like I have to back Mentee. One of my good friends is involved in the team there with Rapoli, and she loves this horse. Mentee, when he was younger, had was it an illness or an injury? Essentially, he was out for a little bit, and she was there with him, nourishing him back to health.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it's great to see him back and in top form and running at the highest level as you can as a 2-year-old. And it's always fun to see these American horses, go out there, hold their own in the turf races. So my patriotic Dan's shirt got to me, and I'm going to back a true American horse in this race.
Hey, I need one. I got one of their old ones that doesn't have the flag.
That's some old smoke.
That's some old smoke up in my closet. Some of that original.
That old, yeah. And speaking of, 15% off, as you know, if you go to Old Smoke Clothing.
Kurt doesn't pay you enough for this.
Greg put it up. ABR 15 Old Smoke is the promo code.
They never do this, you guys.
They've never done this.
This is simply too good.
It's too
Too good to be true.
It's only through this weekend. It ends Sunday night. I actually asked, I was like, is it midnight, 11:59? What time? Because I want to be clear with the people. They're like, just tell them all weekend. No, we're not specifying.
But to be
All
safe,
weekend.
11:58.
Yeah. Oh, there are some people in the chat who are like, these people, they're not serious. It's post time. They're going into the gate.
Oh, shit. I'm going to call it.
All right, Alexa's calling this. You want this program? You good? Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm all in on, who am I all in on? 5-7. 7-5, 5-7. So, Seagulls 11, my big play.
Man, good luck. I don't see
Hang
it.
on.
Who's running out?
What's your best? I know it's named after a soccer team, but
Yeah, the
you
7.
got a good seagull call?
7, Seagulls 11. I got to put some more money on this horse. Hold on.
We know you got that bankroll.
Yeah, no.
Well, for the next, till tomorrow morning. Then it's gone. All right, let's see. All right, yeah. No, the 7 will be there. How much did I just bet? Jesus. Okay. All right.
Prayer. Oh,
All right.
Dan. Oh, Lord.
Last race of Future Stars Friday. Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Very exciting. Good warm-up for tomorrow.
And after this race, we do have one more very special guest who we were just talking to offset. So stay with us. The coverage does not end here.
But wait.
It's never over.
Yeah. We'll also let you know about a special promotion from our friends at Old Smoke that you haven't heard about.
But you know what is over? the promotion of Old Smoke at the end of
Okay.
You guys, we have fun here. Oh.
Nope, they're not in the gate. We are now loading Iron Man Cow.
Oh my God! All right, we got to get more than 12 tomorrow. I tell you that much. That's the one thing I learned
I feel
today.
gypped.
I'm sorry. I mean, there's like a little bit here, like a little backwash.
I'm all right. I don't need your backwash.
We're good. We're good.
Offer.
We'll get around after this.
All right, last one to load, Henry Matisse. They're
one is being fractious.
12,
Who's that?
12 just
One.
broke through the gate. Amori City has broken through the gate. We have a potential...
With William Buick on board.
Potential scratch.
So what do you do here? The 12 just broke at 10-1. So the 12 just broke through the gate. Do you cancel your tickets now?
I don't cancel bets.
You don't cancel?
When I cancel, they win.
Not after a horse breaks through the gate?
No. He's ready to rock and roll. If they
Okay.
scratch it, I'll get my money back anyway. But, I mean, no.
I mean, he's already drawn tough in 12.
You want to cancel your bet? You go for it.
I mean, I
He's
don't
not
have
on my
him.
ticket.
I don't have him. By the way, we didn't mention the 6-horse Iron Man Cow.
Is it scratched?
I don't know.
No,
we
I think
don't
he
know
just come
yet.
back.
I think they're just going back. I have seen horses break through the gate and win.
It's rare, though. It's rare.
I don't know. I'd like to see the stats on that. Do you know for sure?
I mean, I don't have the stats. No, but I know it's rare. Danielle can back me up on it when she comes here. Horse breaks through the gate. I mean, they're not going to win usually. Typically
no.
Okay. They've already run their race. Yeah, it's a lot of stress. As they're bringing Amori City back, it's a good opportunity for
If Kurt isn't watching this, honestly.
Oh my God, he's got to. I mean, honestly, they haven't sold 2,000 shirts in the past hour. I don't know what's going on, people. Come on, it's 15% off. Like, they never do this.
Okay.
It's never been done.
Okay. Amori City is loading back into the gate, and they're all in line. And they're off.
Uh-oh, my horse broke weird.
Which horse broke weird?
My horse, the 7.
Your horse broke weird. Okay.
Menti looks good.
Menti going out for the lead alongside Zulu Kingdom. The one who did grab the lead from the rail is Dream On.
All right,
who we
DJ
had
Stables.
DJ Stables on earlier in the day. Back in fourth is your horse, Dan Siegel's 11 on the inside is the number 1. Satono Carnival, another hot horse on this broadcast. Followed by Iron Man Cal, and to his outside, I don't know, because the horse I was going to say is scratched. So...
This is going well.
That wasn't it.
By the way, I got to say, Rachel King on Satono Carnival, dream trip up the rail right now.
Yeah.
And Dream On is going fast, 22-3.
Yeah, farther back on the rail, Noble Confessor. You're right, Dan. The one in last place right now is Amori City, who broke early through the gate. Dream On still leading the field in 46.
Seagulls. Come on, Seagulls.
Satono Carnival on the rail. Somebody's making a move on the outside. It is the number 5, Zulu Kingdom.
No, it's the 7. Come on, Seagulls.
7, Seagulls 11.
5's moving too.
The 5,
Come on, Seagulls.
Zulu Kingdom.
Come on, Seagulls.
And now they're all
Come on,
coming around the
5-7.
top of the stretch.
Come on, 75.
Dream On.
Someone's rolling down the outside. The 11.
It's Matisse. It's Matisse. It's 13, yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
Oh, it is. You're right. I'm glad you should be on this. Oh,
Look at the 6 at a massive
look at
price.
the 12 getting third. Aren't you glad he
For
didn't
third.
cancel?
How about Iron Man Cal at a big
Henry
price?
Matisse over Iron Man Cal over the 12, Amori City. That will be a nice try again.
So Henry Matisse was able, I think, to overcome the post
Yeah.
because
4-1.
because
7-2.
they went so freaking fast. I mean, they went silly. So, I mean, he could drop back and made one run and won.
Yeah.
So impressive, Henry Matisse. We had the right idea, or not.
I didn't. I don't know what you're doing. None of my horses are in there at all.
Iron Man Cal finished second. Got a late
That's
shout.
crazy. So we have a 7-2 over a 25-1 over a 9-1. So
Who was third?
The 12.
Oh, yeah, the 12.
The 12
yeah.
Amori City. So this is going to pay. I mean, a 7-2 favorite is not obviously a very favored favorite. Look at Menti looking so proud of. Where did Menti finish?
I just threw away a lot of money. I'm no longer paying for dinner, guys. No, I'm kidding. I am.
Daniel.
Dinner's still on me. Dinner's still on me. All right. Come on, Danielle. Come on in.
Your dress is so beautiful.
We're keeping it rolling.
Oh, nice. Gotta have that on these days.
And it has pockets, which is
That's the key.
Wait,
Everyone
pockets?
that has seen
It has
today-
Where are the pockets?
Does it have like where pockets usually are?
Where? Let me see.
The general pocket vicinity.
She's got a little kangaroo pouch on the front. You know how it goes.
No, like how high? Like I don't know. Like I'm just like.
Like where you would put your hand to put in a pocket?
If you were a woman
Awesome.
wearing a
Right
dress, it would
okay.
be right where your hand goes.
Like,
About
that's such a
where
great-
your jacket pocket would
Is that like a modern thing, or is that like is that been around for a long time?
I would say in the 1950s, women didn't have pockets if they couldn't.
The women of the 1990s appreciate the innovation.
They were busy carrying babies around. What's up?
My wife literally just threw her phone across the room. Dan, shut up. Shut up, Dan.
Oh, the 11 got fourth. New Century did get fourth. Okay, sorry.
It feels good.
That's good.
Excellent.
I like one. One of mine got in the top 4.
I'm proud of you.
Well, you guys, Danielle Austin, West Point Thoroughbreds, here with us while we've got our loopies for the day. I'm sure that you've been everywhere today.
Literally
Tell us
from
how.
Top to bottom, wearing heels, walking up and down stairs all day long. It's been great. But we actually have like a pretty quiet weekend this weekend. We have Vava running tomorrow, and that's our only horse in this weekend. So we're super pumped.
We had Griffin and Lindsay on earlier.
Yes,
Griffin
awesome.
was talking up Sandman, of course.
Of course.
How is he doing? How's all of our little stake and stardom horses
They
doing?
are doing very well. So when I was thinking about coming on and describing the Stake and Stardom program, initially I was like, well, we tried to do our best to give like a diverse portfolio to the influencers. And I was like, wait, they're all 2-year-old colts. So as diverse as that could be, they're at least trained by different people. So Griffin Sandman is trained by Mark Cassie. He is doing very well. He's on the Derby Trail this year. I think at last check, he was 10th on the leaderboard with 4 points. So at this point, he's doing good. He's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's early. I mean, Griffin's hype.
Wait, I'm
Griffin's
sorry.
hype.
We
There-
need
there
to
is an
pause just
inquiry.
for a
We
second
should say
because there
this.
is an inquiry
Yeah.
for fourth place between Dream On and.
I was like, for first?
Wait a minute.
So it's possible Alexa will be knocked out of the top
But it's
4.
also possible that DJ Stables
Will
could
be
make
moved
the
up to fourth,
Superfecta,
which
which
would be
honestly
nice.
at this point I'm rooting more for him. And other horse got third earlier. Nitrogen.
Yep. No. Yeah.
45 to 1 odds. So a pretty
take that.
good day. I mean, these, you think about it, these are really tough fields, and the prize pools are obviously insane, millions of dollars. So they're really hoping for this takedown here.
Yeah, it
'Cause
would-
that's a huge payout.
It would be huge for them, and
Yeah.
and also Dream On, good price too. I mean, if you're alive to the Super with Dream On in your ticket, you obviously want this horse to move up.
46 to 1 odds on Dream On versus
5 to 2 or something, or 7 to 2.
9 to 2 on New Century. So that's gonna drastically change the payout of the Superfecta.
So if you're watching this show and you're trying to figure out what's going on in the last Breeders' Cup race of the day, it's the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. The horses crossed the line with 13 Henry Matisse in first, 6 Ironman Cal second, the 12 Amori City, who I knew was going to hit the board, third. And then there is an inquiry now between New Century, who crossed fourth,
I'm trying
and
to see
Dream
where,
On.
because they're showing us the aerial view right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not
that
sure.
looks like-
it's around the turn.
Do you see that jockey that nearly goes and kind of slides?
Is it
to the side?
here? Is it that move?
Between horses, yeah.
What is that
You're
all
going to
about?
see
Crowding
this
a
jockey
3
that's
right
between
there.
horses.
Was that the 12?
You're going to see him almost come.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not
I have
quite
no
sure.
dog in this fight, but I'm on your team.
All right, thank you, girl. Thank you, girl.
Yes. We love to see it. I mean, you know how stressful that is from a ownership standpoint whenever
Totally.
there's an inquiry. I mean, I know that
Especially
the
on, like,
sports
Breeders' Cup
bettors.
stage.
In a race this big,
Yes.
yeah. So you mentioned Vava. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about her. She's had an incredible run, an incredible career.
Yes,
and
this year she is just shy of $1 million in earnings, just over 900,000, which is amazing. She's run 4 races, 3 of which were grade 1s, 1 of which was grade 3. She's hit the board in all 3 of her grade 1s. She won 1, second and third, and then won the grade 3. So, I mean, when you're talking about a filly, what more could you ask? She is just the dream for all of us. She's contributed to a banner year for Cherie DeVoe, who has like 5 horses running tomorrow, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, her blood pressure right now must be a little bit high, but we are all on her team. Love to see it. And just for us, for West Point, we've got a huge partner base, about 750 partners, but we always say that when you buy into the syndicate, you buy into the whole stable. And so everybody on our team is rooting for Vava. So there's going to be like close to 1,000 people cheering her on tomorrow, which is just nuts. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, look, the last race, the Ballerina, she finished 3rd behind 2 horses that are coming back, right? Society and Scylla. I think they're both in, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Society and
everyone
Vava are
can
my
have a
top
bad day.
selections there. So, I mean, I think Vava's very live.
She is, and
coming into tomorrow.
And you've got pretty much, and we did a video that we could actually show before we wrap up. I mean, you've got Irad Ortiz up, which is always a bit of extra confidence.
Yes.
Having
and
one
he
of the best
knows her
shots.
very well. So, yes, absolutely. I mean, we are as cautiously optimistic as you could possibly be going into a race. We're very excited.
For the people that are involved in the ownership of that horse, is this most of their first times owning a Breeders' Cup horse? How do they feel about it?
Not all of them. There are several that had ownership interest in Slider, who ran at the Breeders' Cup last year. That being said, I don't think it takes away from anybody's experience. It's different year to year. So races are different, the horses are different, and I think that anybody that has a horse in the Breeders' Cup is just as pumped, whether it's your first time or your 5th or 10th time. So
truly. It's never a bad weekend to be
No.
involved in,
No.
on any
Exactly.
level.
Exactly.
I mean, the cool thing about this is like, everyone knows the Kentucky Derby, right? Like the Kentucky Derby. At the end of the day, though, there's only 20 horses that are going to get to the Kentucky Derby, and it's only when they're 3 years old.
Right.
The Breeders' Cup is cool because it's actually, I mean, I would think from owner's perspective, it's a more realistic target. I mean, it's still difficult,
more of a
but it's
moving
more
target,
yeah.
maybe, but there's more opportunity to get there in some capacity. So
Yeah. Speaking of moving, Alexa is unable to sit still
I'm sorry.
at this
I'm
moment.
just like so involved. So I'm getting, as they're showing more slow-mo about this. So I believe it was Al Qudra who went to their knees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is Al Qudra who what was my top pick?
So is that so they're looking to see if it was
so
11 and 2 or just the 2?
I don't
Or the
totally understand the inquiry between the 11 and the 2 because it looks like
Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's
so
the
Al
4
Qudra's
moving,
moving
yeah.
up, and then this horse kind of comes in.
That's the
and
2
then-
though, isn't it? Or is that the 11?
I'm not sure, but Al Qudra goes and the jockey almost falls off. Like it.
Yeah, that wasn't
has
great.
to just hang
oh,
on.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
bad.
see how
that's
he's
really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
that's a.
But I guess the question is, what was there? I don't think anyone. I guess he came in a little bit, but I don't think he totally. I don't know. This is interesting. This is a tough one for the stewards. It's a tough one for the stewards because I don't think anybody in front of him acted unsafely to block a path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not intentional.
wasn't-
I think he almost ran. I
Now,
mean,
Al
I mean, the
Qudra
horse.
did not
the-
have a very clear path. I think that was a risky shot to
yeah,
take
yeah.
to
The,
try
the
to
horse.
make it through
the horse
that.
did come out a little. Yeah, that's it. The horse was
Like
trying
there
to go.
wasn't
yeah,
really
yeah,
a
yeah,
clear
yeah,
path
yeah,
for
yeah.
him to take. So
That's not anything. I don't know. What do you think, Danielle? I mean, you've seen a million of these.
I mean, no one ever wants my tips or handicapping analysis because it's terrible every time. However, I think I feel for the stewards because it's the Breeders' Cup and you have to be extra scrutinizing in your calls for this and making sure that there's no way around your decision. To me, it looks terrifying where the jock almost falls.
Yeah.
But
Who was on the horse? Who was the jockey? Is it James Doyle? Or
Yes, James Doyle and Charlie Appleby is the trainer of that
Yeah.
horse.
I don't think this warrants a takedown, though.
Yeah, there's certainly no like.
Nobody. I mean, whoever was that horse in front on the outside that came in did not come in nearly but half of the lane, and
It's kind of like who's responsible when you're driving, right? Like you can't if you run into someone, the person behind is the one who's responsible, right? I mean, the person in the front who gets run into doesn't, you know.
kind of weird. It looks like he almost trips on
Like
his
a bad
own
step,
afterwards.
totally.
Yeah, like it doesn't
Mhm.
look like the trip happened right when the path was shut off. So I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
No,
I was just
am
really
equally
engrossed in this
invested.
moment. Yeah, I was like,
Yes.
not trying to be rude.
No, not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
We're wrapping up the day here. We thought everything was going to be cool and kosher, and here we are waiting on an inquiry. So
waiting it out, biting our nails. So what's the rest of the day look like for you? How do you prepare and get ready for Saturday?
So we sleep. Like ASAP, ideally. We get here early tomorrow, make sure all the partners are taken care of. Since our race did get moved up to the first Breeders' Cup race of the day, it's a little bit earlier than we had planned on, noon post time. So what we're looking at right now is just trying to figure out how to get everyone where we need them to be during like the opening ceremonies for the Breeders' Cup races, get them to the entry point for the paddock, and just funneling everybody in as best as we can. We only have about 10 people we need to bring in tomorrow, which for us is like a dream. I'm like, phew, it's going to be so easy. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be great. And I know we have Lindsay, Griffin, I think Alex. And Heather all coming tomorrow.
Yes.
And Heather, I would love to give a shout out to because she's been the greatest trooper out of the Stake and Stardom influencer crew this year. Absolutely Hot has not made a start yet, but he's working away. And when I misspoke earlier, Dale Romans does train Absolutely Hot.
Okay.
So he's got one on the roster by Promises Fulfilled. And we're just working away and aiming towards Thanksgiving, which hopefully will work out for Heather, actually being able to be there in person.
Nice.
So sometimes, things work out the way they're supposed to, but she's just been sort of like,
It's unpredictable with the 2-year-olds. You don't know
Yeah.
how or when they're going to come along.
Exactly.
But
Makes
still.
Sandman's run pretty impressive. And I know he's a pricey horse, but still, you never know, right?
Right,
I mean, you never
as
know.
did Castle Run, who's also
Yeah.
trained by Cherie in his debut. And I know Alex was able to be there, like in the rain at Churchill Downs, which was not an ideal situation, but glad that he came. So it's been an exciting group overall for us, I think, and hopefully the influencers feel the same. I know Griffin does.
Yes.
Thank God. That is his like equine son.
Me too.
Yes.
Truly.
Let's update the people watching,
I
waiting
believe
for the
it was
result.
left.
Yeah,
I believe it was
everything's
left up.
stayed as is. So the 13 did win. Henry Matisse, that was not in question. Did Jose Ortiz place? Jose Ortiz was on Dream On, so he did not place. He ended up finishing 5th. So the order of finish was 13. Henry Matisse on top. There's no way I'm going to remember the entire order of finish, but it was 13. I can remember the numbers probably.
13, 6, 12, 11, 2.
There you go. Thank you.
Trust Alexa to
I got
remember.
Exactly. It's been a long day.
Is the breakdown. Trust and believe.
Trust and believe. Yes.
All right, so we've covered all 5 Breeders' Cup races today. We have 9 more Breeders' Cup races today, so we thought this was the perfect segue to tomorrow because Vava runs in the first. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Please no.
Yeah, no more today. Vava runs in the first race tomorrow, which will be race 4. The time is noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. It is the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. And so we'll all be watching and hoping for a good result.
Cross all appendages that can be crossed tomorrow.
Yes, and if anything, put your hands in your pocket if you don't know what to do.
Yeah. When in doubt, you can find
your
the
hand in the
pockets.
dress pocket.
Yes, exactly.
Figure out where pockets
Don't
are.
ask Dan where the dress pockets are, but we can tell you.
I'm learning. I'm learning. All right, so I think we should call it. Are you ready to call it?
I think that does it. Thanks for joining all of us here at the
Thanks for having me.
Inside the Rail today at Breeders' Cup. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Alexa will be back. We'll have a ton more other guests. What time,
We'll
Dan?
make more money. 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern.
All right, guys.
There it is.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.
Tomorrow. Bye.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.